Yeah, I think so.
Always.
Nice.
Tell me who you are.
I am Boldar, the half-orc barbarian, and I'm really glad I know how to swim.
Does he?
Yeah, his athletics is a plus. His athletics is a +9 now.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine if it was a +9, but he still can't
He
swim.
still can't swim. It's a character flaw.
I'm Bray Fireforge, a hill dwarf pirate type person. I don't know what to say about me, to be honest. I could swim or I could not swim. I don't really know yet.
To swim or not to swim?
not-
That's the question.
Yeah, it's not
You
been
have cool
established.
bullets now.
I do. I have lightning bullets, so
That's cool.
fun. Yeah, can't wait to use them.
Well, I am Fear of Flying and Arakoka Bird. I assume I'm gonna have to say something about swim because both the first two have already said something.
I just try
don't
and
know whether Fear can swim, but
Just shout swimming at the top of your
I
voice.
just try and make it relate to the last episode.
you
That's
need to be able to swim because my girl, the Kraken, has got my back, so it's fine. And yeah, you just don't know what to expect when it comes to Fear, whether it'll actually help or hinder his fellow adventurers.
Yeah, that's very true. I am Fenric, the wood elf druid, and thank God I know wild shape because I'm totally turning into a shark.
yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm the DM. A DM, because there's two of them.
You are literally everyone else in the world, you and Frank.
I'm everyone. I'm the ocean. I'm the ghosts that aren't scared of sirens. I'm the sirens. I'm the Kraken.
You are the Kraken.
Ray is everyone else.
Confirmed, you are the Kraken.
I'm gonna give a recap
Nice.
because we ended on an intense note. After fighting a ghost ship,
Plan.
you stuck with the plan. Some cannonballs were fired, mostly received. It was beautiful. And right when the ghost ship sort of smashed into your guys' ship to have some boarding attempts made, Fear called his girlfriend, basically. And sort of the tentacles of the Kraken emerged from the ocean and all came crashing down on both ships. And all that I made certain of at the end was that the dogs are okay, but that's about where we left off. We're ready to jump back in. Sweet. So what we will probably do, just for simplicity here, is do an initiative roll, sort of gauge what each person's reaction is to that.
Whether we just drown immediately or...
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Or yeah, I mean, if you, we'll just use the initiative for the order, but we can sort of do
just
a
swim.
deck save as well to see how everyone reacts to this.
Okay.
The deck save first, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do deck save first then.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, I'm really glad you said that because I rolled an 18 for that. And a +2.
Nice.
So that's a 20.
Oh, dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
It is a 10 for Bray.
I'm going to be relying on my girlfriend here because I rolled a 9.
Oh.
I will be relying on my magic because I also rolled a 9.
Rob,
So out of everyone, I think
chat has picked up on Fear's tentacle fetish, just so you know.
Oh, God.
that's what's
Okay, with that, Boldar, I would say like you saw the tentacles and you're like, all right, time to get ready. And you sort of like beautifully grab onto the mast and sort of ride it down as it collapses. And you have found a pretty sturdy piece of
He's like,
driftwood that you're now
"Ah!"
sitting comfortably on. Yeah, just action hero level 20, you were ready for it. You're like, I know what's about to happen, and just did it beautifully.
Clambered up there.
I would say you probably didn't even get you didn't get your toesies wet. So and then Bray, Fear, and Fenric, can't say the same for you guys. I should probably exclude Fear from that since he was below deck.
Below deck, yeah.
You were snatched by the Kraken already and sort of removed before everything came crashing down, so they certainly were more concerned with your livelihood, it seems. I'm sure they might have only been aware of you since you called message, but
It worked.
Bray and Fenric, you are knocked off and you are in just being tossed about in the ocean, and not even that it's really just the waves that are crazy, but just the sudden movement of both ships collapsing with this massive creature below you. You're barely keeping your head above water, but you are safe and don't take any extra damage.
Nice.
And,
Just treading
and
water.
then and with that, I would say sort of as everyone, I'm sorry, I'm used to waiting for another person. It's like it's been a while since we've been down a person, so I'm like, I'll get used to it. I would say that even though you guys were sloshed around a bit, it is sort of made clear right away. You do see Fear. He's in the clutches of a tentacle, sort of up in the air. It's the only one that didn't come crashing down. But in an instant, it is pulled below the water, and you do not see Fear anymore.
We never see Fear again.
Ever again.
You can patrol.
Feel free to take this time, Rob, to make a new character.
I've got one planned. This will happen eventually.
It just shows up.
And I would say, especially with a 9, there's not much resistance that you've done. You are
He likes it.
adequately pulled under by this massive creature, and we'll get back
So
to
pencil
later.
sheet just to help dynamic.
Yes. So now we did already establish the dogs had already righted themselves on a floating piece of driftwood. I'm sure Jeremy's on his separate one, tails wagging, completely unbothered. They don't know what's going on, but they're safe. And at this point, the 3 of you are alone in the ocean, surrounded by shipwreckage. What do you do? I'm not going to rely on initiative roll. I'm sure you guys can figure it out.
Try not to panic would probably be the
Yeah.
best thing to do.
Roll to not panic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, are we
Where do
like
we start?
how?
We try to put the ship back
Are we-
together again.
Are we like? Are we quite close to each other, or have we just been sort of like, thrown in three separate directions, or?
I would say just sort of in a swirl. Everything did come down inward. I'd say you guys are within 15, 20 feet of each other. Dependent on your guys' independent reactions, but you're not very far.
I mean, Bray's just like a wee lad, so he's not a very strong swimmer with his little dwarf legs. So I'm gonna try and like swim over to Boldar and just sort of
Climb on his
onto him
back.
like a life. yeah. Cling onto him like a life raft or something.
Boldar,
Yeah.
do you help him up on where you're
Yeah.
at, or
I help him up onto my back.
He's like, please.
He's like holding around the neck. Where's Fenric?
What about Fenric?
Fenric, I know I said I was going to turn into a shark, but I can technically also turn into a giant seahorse, and I want to do that so I can feel more close to my horse
Adorable.
friend.
And if I knew you were gonna do that, I would have like swam over to you.
Well, so now what happens is Boldar, with Bray on his back, climbs onto the giant seahorse.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought would happen.
I love it. Okay. And with that, you hear a sharp gasp behind you as Lady Beck has just come to the surface and she's pissed. Sort of, you haven't seen her hair really unkempt or anything, but she just looks like a little drowned rat and she is just really grasping for anything near her to keep her up above. She was in the captain's quarters still when everything went under, so it was a bit more tricky for her to escape. But she did make it up just fine. And what is your guys' plan? You're in the middle of the ocean.
Boy, I don't know. I don't know. Boldar has a -2 intelligence. Boldar doesn't know what to do.
Still sticking to the plan.
Yeah, he's up against the mast.
Can I roll survival to see if there's land nearby?
It's a good show.
Yeah. I'll let anyone who wants to roll that, if you want to do perception or survival, depending on which modifier is better.
Sure.
I'll do
Take
a
those rolls
perception.
and see.
Survival. So I'll do survival. That's a 14 plus 2, a 16. for Boldar.
It's a 7 for perception, so kind of pointless.
I got a dirty 20 for survival.
Nice.
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 Bray, did you roll survival or perception?
Perception.
Perception. All right. You just got some water in your eyes and you're just kind of rubbing them. You're really clinging on to what you can, but
Salt
it's
water.
difficult to be perceptive in this moment. You see the ocean.
You see water around you.
Boldar, you do see off in the distance, maybe 150, 200 feet out, you do see a spot of land a bit far away. And then Fenric, just sort of with your experience, you can sort of see more details on the land. It looks like it's eastward. This is where Lady Beck was trying to go on her travels. You can see it's densely wooded at this point, so maybe your background, you're a little bit more excited by that as well. You see maybe
I definitely
a
am.
bit of your element that way.
So excited.
It's about 150 feet away off in the distance. You do see land.
Oh, I thought it would be like a mile or something. I don't know how far away you can see things. But yeah, Let's. I'm gonna. I guess whinny at Lady Beck because I'm a horse now. And just gallop over to her. And just try to pick her up as well.
Okay, are you just... How big are you?
Yeah, are we all gonna fit?
Seahorse.
I am 6'7".
It says large. I don't know what large ones.
I think that's like the classification is, it should have like a specific...
Otherwise, if we don't all fit, Lady Beck could ride on your back and Bray can sit on my back and I'll just front crawl my way there.
So 10 by 10 feet of space. They compare it to an ogre. They're pretty big. I'd say
Pretty
you can
big.
get 3 people on you.
Sounds realistic. Especially because Bray's on me anyway. So he
I was
doesn't...
gonna say
he
two
doesn't-
people and a dwarf.
Yeah, he doesn't need a space on the
Hanging
horse.
onto you like a limpet.
As long as you can carry the extra little bit of weight, like on the horse, he doesn't need a space because he's on me.
Yeah.
That
works.
Okay, so is everyone then on Fenric?
No, everyone except Fear.
Except for Fear. I'm sorry,
Fear's not
making
back.
you sit out a little bit.
Fear's
but-
presumed dead. That's fine.
Yeah, nobody seemed too concerned when he left. Everyone was like, all right, I'm going to go to Boldar.
We're just
Probably not. I'm just going to turn up at the most inconvenient time.
I mean, we're just kind of pulling ourselves together. It's like we haven't noticed that we haven't seen Flynn yet either.
also not concerned that Flynn's like missing either.
Well, guess he's dead.
Just wash ashore one day.
I will say that you do see Flynn. He is unconscious. He is under the puppy puddle. He is on the same piece of wood floating by, but he must have gotten a good conk on the head. His eyes are not open.
He's out.
He'll be fine. The puppies will look after him.
Again,
He's asleep. It's
puppies will
fine.
take care of
again,
us.
presumed dead.
No. So then, Fenric, are you just swimming eastward towards the island?
Yes. My swim speed is 40 feet.
Can we tie some rope between you and the raft with the dogs on so that we drag them along as well?
Yes.
Otherwise, we just
absolutely.
leave them in the middle of the
I'm
ocean.
glad you said something because I did not want to describe that. Like, what
They
would we
watch
tell
us
Theo if
leave.
you guys just swam away?
So the good
Them
news
and
is
the
you're
dog.
alive.
The bad news is you're nowhere near us.
Yeah, the bad news is we left you on a
Party
little
squid.
like
At
bit
sea.
of wood with a load of dogs.
At sea.
We gotta get
Um,
Jeremy.
Because landed on
Yeah.
this graph.
True.
We
We
need to
can,
make sure Jeremy's like with us. As
so we
well.
can use hempen rope to tie Fenric as a seahorse to both that bit with the dogs and Flynn on and the one with Jeremy. He's pulling a lot of weight. He's pulling a lot of weight right now.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, okay, so I can stay in B shape for 2 hours before reverting back to my normal form. So
It's pretty solid.
I think getting 150 feet, I think getting to land is feasible with all this extra weight in 2 hours.
Even if you do
Um,
slowly.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I think
I think Jeremy's
Um,
just using like a hoof and just sort of like
Paddling.
picking up water
He's
and
helping.
just,
see, like,
paddling
like-
along with one hoof.
my whole thing with Jeremy is I'm pretty sure he's just standing on all fours on just one large plank of wood, just perfectly like
No,
completely buoyant.
no,
Balanced.
he's standing on all fours
I
on
love it.
4 little separate planks. of wood.
He's got a hoof on one on each mimic. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no. Lily, what up?
Who
Thank
is
you
gonna
for
be
the
tying the rope
resub.
then?
We don't have the lights on the screen, Lily, but thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, I was just talking to
Can
stream.
use their hands.
I can try tying the rope.
Yeah,
Give it a go.
we could do one each.
Roll
Yeah.
sleight of hand. Whoever's helping.
I will help. Matt just got a boost in sleight of hand, didn't you, Matt?
I did, yes.
White.
I got
That's a 12.
I got a 16 plus 2. So an
Hey.
18.
Sorry, I grabbed a white claw thinking that would be a good idea, but I'm all kinds of burpy. So sorry, I keep muting myself. So you guys sort of start tying them off. You sort of each start on one side, while Fenric's just sort of like happily a large seahorse floating and waiting to just get the go. Bray notices, like right when he's about a third the way done, that Boldar's finished, and he sort of got his hands on his hips on the wood and is like looking at his job. Job well
Proud of
done.
himself.
And with that, unless you guys wanted to do anything before heading out, we can have Fenric make that sweet athletics roll and see if maybe it takes more than 2 hours.
Let's go.
As it gets towards the end, he turns it. He's like a deflating pool toy. He's like, starts turning back into Fenric.
He first goes to a normal sized seahorse and then Fenric.
Shrink to be tiny and then back to human size. Oh god. Okay. D&D gods, don't fail me now. Oh, thank God. Okay.
A good reaction?
Yeah, I
That's
can't
a
tell.
very good
Okay.
I got an 18 plus 1, so I got a 19.
Nice.
I'm very excited.
Nice. I would say you guys maybe even lose your balance a little bit as he starts pulling forward. He finally gets the go and he's raring to go. He's excited to get to his forest over there for sure. You even notice like there's a little bit of wake behind the various pieces of wood that have been tied together. Like he's gunning it. So very beautifully done. Yes, you probably get there easily within. So you said what was your speed again? I'm just curious. I want to do the math just to be funny. In the water.
40 feet. Per
3 feet?
whatever. 40.
40 feet in the water?
Jeez.
Yeah.
So that's every 6 seconds. So we're going to find out exactly. So, you get there in 22.5 seconds somehow.
Nice.
Whoa. That good.
Speedy boy.
He just
It's
flies.
absurd.
Oh,
You don't touch the water
You
the
get to
whole
get
way.
whiplash.
yeah.
Okay, and with that, you guys have sort of beached. It is a very flat, thin white sand beach, and then not even 5 feet back does this thick, dense forest begin. Let me see here. Sorry, I lost my page. You sort of get this feeling that this is not a normal forest. It's very beautiful, sort of reaching and twisting roots, looping around, and very like bluish hues. It's a very beautiful sight to see. Maybe not something that even Fenric is super familiar with. But with that, let's have a dex save from Fear.
I was about to be like, guys, what are we going to do about fear? We just...
A 14 plus 5, so 19.
Wow, okay.
Damn.
That's beautifully done. Off in the distance, you see a tentacle sort of break the surface of the water and come careening in, almost, not quite as fast as Fenric the Seahorse. Which, do you get to change back when you want to? Because you might have almost another like hour and a half of I'm a big seahorse.
It's Boldar
It's a shame to waste it.
Castle.
Yeah, you can stay in beast form for 2 hours before reverting back to normal form, or as a bonus action earlier, or if you fall unconscious. I get 2 of them per short rest, so I should be good.
Or unconscious. I think we know what we need to do.
Oh my god.
I think I
Okay,
can
you can
choose.
stay a seahorse if you want. I just didn't know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out. We'll keep Jeremy on his 4 individual pegs of wood, and we'll just hang out in the ocean for a little while.
Maybe start doing laps of the little island.
Very
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
But with that, you do see that tentacle emerge from the water. With Fear maybe just perched on the top. He's got a big ol' happy smile on him, and he is not so much what would be expected from a giant kraken, but very delicately placed on the beach.
Aw.
Blushing.
Is he?
Brushing with all like sucker marks, like all over his face.
Yeah. He's been up to something.
Alrighty. Your teammate has just appeared back with you guys. I don't know if you would acknowledge that as a character, if you guys are just like, oh yeah.
What happened to you?
It's probably best not talking about it. We should just move on. It might come up at another time. Just
Oh, it might.
what happens below the ocean stays below the ocean. So yeah.
I don't kiss and tell.
Well, that's telling, isn't it?
Lord. All right, moving on from that.
Quickly,
About all I can do.
getting as far away from that as possible, as quickly as possible.
Yes. Honestly, to just give you a little bit of my thought process, that was not the plan. I was just going to have him swim with you guys until today. Rob mentioned a short rest with the Kraken. So, again, if you say you want something to happen, Freya and I will make it happen.
So
And
you,
how about just with the sheer power of the ocean and how I'm going to leave it at that again. You can go ahead and add a short rest to your sheet, Rob, for Fear. If that gives you any spells or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much because I haven't actually used any spells last time because we didn't fight.
Be grateful anyways.
I'm grateful.
he had a good time, regardless.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you don't know.
Oh, we know.
Oh my god.
It's written all over your face.
With that, I would say Lady Beck has mostly been pretty quiet up till now. She's not happy with the swim that she made. Pretty jarring to have not only be in a shipwreck, but also she invested a lot into the ship. This was her escape. And while this is where she was trying to go, that was a pretty big hit for her, emotionally, I'm sure. But she's sort of quietly, and she's sitting there thinking, and she removes an amulet from around her neck, and it has sort of a silvery crest on the front. It looks like a chimera emblem on the front. And she sets it down and takes a step away, and it sort of opens up into a little pocket dimension. And she sort of looks at you guys and sighs, and she's like, so this is a family heirloom. This is my pocket garden. You are not allowed in there. But to be fully transparent with y'all, I don't want our sweet doggies to be in danger again. And so she sort of tries to usher the dogs into this garden. They don't seem to really be listening, but she's presented you with her plan.
Is kidnapping?
I think it's a solid plan, honestly. We can't be any more shipwrecks with dogs about.
I mean, they've survived up to this point.
They're survivors.
Barely.
Look, I haven't caught them to fight yet, so this is
They're
probably
very
the best.
resilient doggos, okay?
We're just going to collect dogs.
Maya is completely ignoring her and is sort of chewing at Boldar's foot. And
Sounds
then
about
Irby
right.
as well is sort of running in circles around Fenric. And Lady Beck is getting visibly frustrated.
Well, Irby doesn't listen to me anyway,
Yeah.
so I'll try my best. He's pretty small. I think I can pick him up and just toss him in there. He'll be fine. Yeah, he likes frolicking in woods and shit. And he'll be fine.
He'll be
all
fine.
right.
Once he's in there, he'll be fine.
Launch him like
Yeah.
a ball or something.
Like a...
Then as you approach sort of this pocket rift that has opened over her amulet on the ground, you do see it is a garden. It's got well-trimmed grass, a couple fountains, sort of wildflowers growing on each side. It's very small, but you do view this as maybe a better arena for Irby and the other dogs than this sprawling forest in front of you and the splintered ship behind you.
That garden's gonna die. These dogs are gonna piss on everything. That's all I'm saying.
Dig it all up.
Dig it all up, pee on the bushes. It's gonna turn very drab very quickly.
Although if it's a magical garden, maybe it'll just like fix itself. I don't know.
True. Hopefully.
You do see Juniper with his two peg legs sort of clopping into the sand is very excited to get into this garden, and he takes a nap on a bed of daisies, and he looks very happy. And he's hanging out with Irby. But Maya, who's Maya, is still chewing on Boldar's foot.
Well, if she's going to listen to anyone, she's more likely to listen to Lady Beck, I think, than Boldar. just based on our personal experience.
Maybe Boldar just gives Lady Beck a look. If we could have an animal handling roll from Lady Beck, Miss Freya, see how she does. We have one troublemaker left. The raccoon is dead, so.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. We talked about him yesterday, actually, me and Matt. We had a memorial.
Fond memories.
That's a 3 + 2. So
Ooh.
not great.
Oh, no.
So she's gonna stomp up to Maya and sort of go, come on, go on in there. And then she is going to take a chomp on Lady Beck's shoes now, her sandals, and go after her there.
Can I try?
Could somebody please help me out with
Can
this?
I-
I tried.
I'll try animal handling. I don't have any bonuses, but I don't have any negatives either. Just need a good roll. That's a 20. That's a
Holy
pretty
crap.
solid roll.
I'll let you describe it if you want.
Boldar just walks up behind Maya and like just scoops her up and just marches her into the pocket dimension. Just scoops her up in one swift motion, marches her in there and puts her down, and then walks back out.
Very sweet.
Just turn around and looks at her and is like, "Stay."
Very sweet. I'll say Lady Beck goes to sort of close that rift and keep them there. by picking up the amulet, and like just before it closes, you see a massive creature stand up in the ground. I'm just kidding. They look like a greeting card. Like they're frolicking and enjoying it and drinking from the fountain, and it's beautiful. So they have a safe spot in there. And then if I could have everyone roll perception.
Oh boy.
A 19.
A 7.
Nice.
It's not a very
19.
perceptive lad.
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Sorry, Boldar.
It's
Boldar's struggling
it's
to see
okay.
things.
He's still crying after the dogs left.
Yeah.
Boldar, you're looking at your feet. Does Boldar wear shoes?
Yes.
What is he wearing?
He has boots.
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 You're sort of trying to rub out a tooth mark from one of your boots.
I'll buff right out.
And and no, I take it back. And then Bray, Fear, and Fenric, you all look into this forest, and with those high rolls, I would even say off in the distance, you do see it is sort of like a bluish magical hue. There's some light fog, just sort of very whimsical feeling aura to this place. But you do see about 30 feet into the forest, there is a bright sort of white flickering light that has sort of an unnatural flickering dance to it off in the distance.
Look,
Sun's
guys, it's
coming
pretty
out.
light. Let's go see what it is.
Sure, it's perfectly
Lead
safe.
the way.
I think it's perfectly safe. How bad could it be?
How often do you
Hey.
come across a bright flickering light that's unsafe? Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Come to think of it, I don't come across often.
Exactly.
So that's why you got to take every opportunity you
You
get.
know what I mean?
So, Boldar, do you fancy going to see what that light is?
Okay. He hasn't even seen the light.
Just walk off in that direction.
He's just like, okay. Boldar walks off in that
Walk off
direction.
in that direction. You can't miss it.
Yeah, you can't miss it. It's over there. Just look up.
Boldar walks off in that direction.
All right. You die. No. Boldar, as you sort of enter this forest, you're leaving that thin white sand. Instantly, sort of just the general daylight that you were feeling, sort of the deeper you go, even a few feet, it just, the air feels blue in here. It feels very
Dabba-dee,
elusive of
dabba-die?
its general light. Yeah, dabba-dee, dabba-die. If I were green, I would die. But and as you continue,
Wait,
of
I
course,
am
the
green.
sand
Oh, shit. So you do die.
Make a death saving roll.
Oh no.
The ground beneath you, it feels soft. You look down, there's just very thick, fluffy grass with just different mushrooms sort of about within the different large roots that are entangling the ground. And you do sort of, there is a lightly trodden pathway towards this light. And as you approach it, just right when you think you can touch it, you don't see any more detail as you get close. It is just sort of a beautiful little light. It disappears, and you see another, the same light appear again 30 feet back again down the same trodden path.
I follow the light. I'm like, ooh, pretty.
I talked to Fenric and Bray, but like, are we gonna follow him? He's just walked off now.
Sweet Boldar, he's just like, oh, look at that.
I don't know.
Well, follow him, but maybe keep like a
Keep a distance.
keep back a little bit. Just keep a distance, just in case some shit happens.
Can I roll? I'm trying to decide insight or nature to try to figure out what that is before walking towards it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll
Coward.
insight, I would say.
I got a total of 16.
16. Did anyone else want to roll insight, or is just Fenric making this check?
Just
You
let
don't
the druid
have
do
to.
it.
I don't have
If
a
you're
mod-
not
I don't have
suspicious,
a-
if you're just following your boy.
I will roll. I'm a bit
Okay.
suspicious, even though I said let's just go for it. I've just seen Boulder wander off, so I'm like, maybe we should think about this.
Like my
Um,
boy.
He's just
Send someone-
gone.
You sent someone
he
to his
go?
likely death, and then you're like, maybe that wasn't a great idea. Hold on.
Look, my idea is I think about them later. Execute them first, think about it later.
Right.
I got a 18 plus 3, so 21.
Damn.
Even better than the druid. This is his natural
Wow.
habitat.
I've got crazy modifiers
way to
on
show
most of
him
my
that's
True.
stuff. That one stone, honestly, has buffed me so much.
Great. Okay. Damn it. Fenric, you sort of, as you're taking these lights, you do see that first one fade away, and then even farther in the distance, it is farther than you guys, farther from you than from Boldar. You do sort of just get this childish feeling from it. It does seem to, it's not a construct. This does seem to have some sort of playful energy to it. You can't really put a finger on exactly what, whether this is, it doesn't come from a place in nature. This seems to be magical in source. In fear, you do sort of get that same playful vibe, but it's less trusting. You're a bit more wary of where this is going to lead, but you have a hard time finding exactly what information it is. As it's just a light. It's really hard to sort of get a read of what this thing's intention is, even with a 21. And I'd say by now Boldar has approached that second light, and same thing, it sort of flickers and then appears again 30 feet in front of you. Sort of you reach the top of a root and it sort of crouches down into a valley, again surrounded by those large forested scraggly trees. Another one has appeared in the clearing in front of you.
He just runs after the next one. He's like a dog when like they're trying to catch a fly and it just keeps
Adorable.
getting away.
I think we
Feel
should
free.
catch up with him, but still keep a distance. I don't trust this wisp thing. It's leading
Yeah.
him somewhere.
I mean, it definitely seems playful, but I mean, if that's what if you're picking up something darker than that, then I'll err on the side of caution. Yeah, let's go ahead and follow him.
But also keep a distance.
Yeah, we'll
well.
keep a distance
Okay.
from Boulder, but we'll keep it in sight.
So we don't get caught up in whatever playful badness. Going on.
Playful
You're like,
badness.
we'll let him make his own mistakes. He'll never learn. He'll never learn otherwise.
How far of a distance do you guys keep?
30 feet, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to keep off the trodden path and just like go from one tree to another. Just so I'm sort of like slightly hidden, but still
Okay.
can watch him.
Go ahead
I
and
don't
make a
trust it.
stealth check.
I stealthy in it. Total of 6.
Ah, great.
I can just imagine me behind trees, but my wings are outstretched and be like,
Bright
I'm
purple wings.
And he keeps
I'm
like
hitting
peeking,
guys.
he keeps like peeking out every
It's
now
like
and
Flynn never even left.
then.
Well,
All this stealth.
I was gonna say, if you want to sneak around, I can cast Pass Without Trace, but granted, or assuming this thing is magical in nature, it's probably still going to be able to detect us.
yeah, I'll save that for another time.
Yeah.
Also, is Flynn in the pocket dimension as well? Or
I
is
was
he
gonna
just on the
say, what-
beach?
Yeah, what's... Is he just like passed out on the beach, or...
So we kind of just walked off without Lady Beck. Lady Beck just stood there with a corpse and just like,
He's like Gulliver in Animal Crossing. He's just kind of there, just asleep. People come by, check on him every once in a while.
Has Jeremy gone in the garden as well?
Yes.
He has.
I just wanted to push interaction with the dogs because I love dogs. But if
Right.
you wanted to retcon that you had Jeremy and Flynn ushered in there or set down in there, or if you guys wanted to have Lady Beck join them in there as well while you guys held the amulet, we can sort of go back to that setting.
I would at the
Because-
very
Put
least.
them all in there.
I would at the very least put Flynn in there just so that we know he's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's there. And
He's hardy. We'll just toss him. Just
Yeah.
throw him in there.
Yeah,
he's
true.
small. He's
could bowl
Oh,
him.
do you
He's
think
still
we-
just in a puppy pile.
Yeah.
Because our stealthiest, hard-hitting person's in there, I think we should have Lady Beck hide in there as well, since we don't understand this whole island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we keep
Let's
Jeremy
have
with
a-
us.
He's a cold-blooded killer.
Exactly.
Yes.
We need
That's
him. We're a
true.
party member down. We need him.
Okay, so I would say Flynn, you don't really need to worry about persuading him. And Pecker's, despite his sort of history as just a full-on bastard, surprisingly has not left Flynn's side. So maybe he wouldn't want you sharing that information when Flynn is awake, but he is close by. And then if you wanted to, Rob, since that was coming from fear, have a persuasion roll against Lady Beck. We
A
can
14 total.
14. Let's see what Lady gets.
That's a 19 total.
Damn, thank you. So with that,
She convinces you to get in
she
the pocket
refuses. Yeah. She's like, y'all, I hired you to escort me, and that I kind of want to still be a part of that equation. I'm not just gonna sit in here and veg out with some dogs like Mr. Sleepykins over there. So she is trudging along behind you guys.
Fenric, what do you think? I could put her to sleep and then she'll have no choice.
Look, she can handle a mace.
True.
I say let's just let her. Honestly,
I'm
she
not-
probably
I'm not gonna
trusts
argue
herself
with
more with the amulet than any of us. So
I'm not going to argue with her, honestly.
No.
yeah,
No.
dude, she'll break
Okay.
your beak with that mace. Like, she'll-
Oh, she's asleep.
She'll rip your wings off me.
Oh my. Okay, so that was a good retcon. I'm sorry. Like, not from a place of not caring, but I think I just got so excited about these cool little lights that I forgot about Flynn and
Well, I think
Lady
so
Beck
did the
and
rest of
Jeremy.
us. That's why I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Completely. So thank you for that. A lot. I'm doing a bad job. If I could have everyone make a dex throw, including Lady Beck since she's with the group.
A saving throw.
Yeah. What I said. I don't know what I said.
21 total.
Damn.
I got you said a dex saving throw.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a 7.
Uh-oh.
So,
Not happy about it.
Sorry, 7. It's 7, yeah.
so I also got
15.
I also got a 7, but then I have danger sense, which means I have advantage.
Oh,
It's a second level thing. I haven't used it yet. It says you gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be, giving you an edge when you dodge away from danger. You have advantage on dex saving throws against effects that you can see. Can I see this thing actually? Otherwise, I don't get it.
You can.
I can. Okay. So that
You
then
can see it.
so then it's a 15 plus 2, so a 17.
It's just going to be the siren situation all over again, where everyone's just sort of can't do anything because they're like
Because
asleep or something.
we all chase the wisp through the woods.
Oops. Oh, dear. Okay. No, where am I? Oh boy. Okay, I'm happy with this. So as I had hinted, you can see it because you've seen it all along. One of these sort of massive trees suddenly shifts into motion,
It's
and
an
using
ant.
various branches and roots, it reaches up and snatches you up and lifts you off the ground. You being everyone except for fear, you are able to dodge out of the way very quickly.
Jeez. What did you roll?
But you do 21.
Jeez.
The
I just
DC is
slipped.
18. This was a hard one to beat. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Slide to the left.
Does fear say that?
He flies up above all of them.
God.
So is it one tree grabbing all of us or different trees?
It is one tree. So what you do see, it sort of holds you up close to its face. It is a massive treant, which is just a large tree creature with sort of a scrunched up old man looking face buried within the bark of this massively old tree. And you sort of feel like this grumble coming from the branches that are holding you up. And sort of in this gruff, large voice that seems to be coming from all around you, he says, I need a good story. So he's going to start with, I'll just use the roles that you guys have here. But he is going to ask first Bray. He sort of holds you in front and pulls you closer to his face. And he says, I need a story. And sort of the way that that's going to work is you'll tell your story. And if Freya thinks it's good, then she'll give you advantage on your performance roll. She says, impress me.
No one's going to impress Freya, though. That's the problem.
We don't know that.
Freya's good at stories.
She's great.
He's searching his brain. Tell him the story about what we've done, something we've done so far on the adventure.
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to think, but my mind's just gone blank.
You could talk about how much you loved the sirens.
Yeah.
I know that Bray in particular enjoyed that.
Tell him how
Bray
we
would
fucked up
prefer
that
that
crab.
Bray would prefer that people didn't know about that. I think.
Bray took an excellent step in saving the dogs. You guys could talk about how Flynn took a shit in a jar. That's what's sticking out of my head. I've yet to get over that.
Depends what
Oh,
kind
he
of
took a shit in the tip jar, didn't he? That's
did,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone saw it.
Yeah.
I'll go
Nobody
with
was
that one.
happy about it.
Everyone's
I'll
so
go with
happy.
that one because that's the only one that I can kind of, I guess, remember and describe properly, sort of.
All
Yes.
right.
So,
Give us a little rundown.
we were in this like crab bar sort of place, and they had like some really dodgy staff. They were intimidated by our orc friend. And there was a tip jar, and our buddy who's like KO'd in a secret garden at the moment. He thought it'd be a good idea to sort of climb up, squat over this tip jar, and just fucking curl one out inside the tip jar. End of story.
End of story.
Does he get advantage on performance? I love the story. I don't know if a tree that's probably been around a few thousand years is entertained. I'll see what she says.
You don't know
She
his
said,
sense
made
of
me
humor.
laugh, I'll give it to him.
Hey!
So go ahead and make a performance roll with advantage.
13.
All right, go ahead and roll a d8.
Oh, I saw it was advantage, wasn't it? So I don't have to do it.
Yeah, so you roll
Oh, that's
twice and take the
Wow.
higher of the two.
Okay, well in that case it's 20.
You got a nat 20?
Day 20.
Nice. Okay. With that, you sort of feel a grumble, and he drops you on the ground, and you're unharmed. Good
Nice.
job. Nice. And with that, next is Fenric. He then brings you closer and says, "Your turn."
Tell him about Jeremy.
Yeah, tell him about your
It's
love.
gonna
for
go
Jeremy.
into
Any story about Jeremy?
the whole story about Jeremy.
I have a story about faithful companion, someone who I consider a very dear friend, and someone who leaves a noticeable void in my heart when they're not next to me.
Oh my god. It's like a sonnet.
When I was going to market one day, I heard the sad sounds of a horse who had been just mistreated for a number of years and deserved something much better than the treatment that he was getting from this shopkeeper. And I used my ability as a druid to communicate with him, and he told me that he was missing from his family. And I took it upon myself to help him reunite with his family, and I decided that I would pay for him and immediately try to give him a better life than he was already living. And we've had many adventures. We've been friends through and through. And eventually, we came into contact with the people that you're holding and the bird thing that flew above you. We don't really know him that well, but he's here. And he's continued to save our skins and be a very integral part of our group. And I just got to tell you, he is so trustworthy, and he will fight for you like his life depends on it, even if it doesn't. And his name is Jeremy, and he is... Wait, he's not in the pocket dimension, right? He's
No,
not...
he's here. I think he's here.
He's
Yeah,
right
okay,
there.
Yeah, so- yeah, okay.
Jeremy's behind you, like
and it's
tears
this-
flowing down his eyes.
And it's this horse behind me that I have sacrificed for and will continue to sacrifice my well-being to make sure that he is safe and that he gets home to his family.
Oh.
And I implore you, please, to let me go and let my friends go so that we can do that for him. Please.
Boldar cries.
Oh. Real quick. Is that a true story?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's his canonical
Okay.
backstory.
What
That
would
is
he
my-
like to
that's-
do,
yeah.
Bray?
I'm just making sure because that didn't come from me, and I'm kind of the DM, so I'm like, maybe I had a different backstory for Jeremy, but that's fine. That's his story. If you say so, I believe it. Freya, do we give that advantage? I'm assuming yes, because I'm moved to tears.
Boldar is sobbing.
She says 110%. Go ahead and roll performance with advantage.
The whole group wipes away a tear.
8 here.
Ooh.
Many tears.
Many tears.
Well, thank goodness I got advantage of that because I rolled a nat 20 and got a 22. So 20 plus 20.
Damn.
20 plus
The Treant is sobbing too. He is very inspired by this tale of friendship and love, and he sets you down a little bit more gently than he set Bray down, and gives you a little Rudy pat on the head. He loved it. And then next is Boldar. He sort of pulls you forward as well, and
We're both
asks for
crying.
your story.
Boldar is going to tell a story of a great construction. He's going to tell the story of his sandcastle.
I'm in that story.
Can't wait for
Oh
this.
my god.
Yeah, I was expecting this.
He starts it like a fairy story.
Yeah.
He's like, once upon a time, I was on a beach, and I decided to build the best sandcastle the world has ever seen. And so I did. And
End of story.
and it had humongous, glorious towers, and it had a deep, wide moat, and it had a drawbridge that worked because there was magic and shit. This guy was there. I point at Fenric. And Fenric goes, magic. And it was wonderful. You should have seen it. And that's it.
All right, that was pretty cute and simple, but so was Boldar. Let's see. Oh my gosh. She says, "I'll say no. Cute, but no. So just roll a flat performance check."
And now Boldar is crushed to death. A 14.
All right. Go ahead and roll a d8.
No. Boldar is crushed to death. An 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
With that, the treant sort of looks at you slightly longer than he did the others. You think you see a flash of blue within his eyes, and he sets you down, sort of drops you on the ground, and with that, a little cloud starts opening up above Boldar's head, and it starts to drizzle rain, and he has cursed you with a little personal rain cloud that seems to follow you where you go.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Is this?
Freya says, "Soggy orc."
Is this?
It had to be Boldar, didn't it?
Is this depression?
Oh no! The tears get lost in the raindrops. And with that, before the treant sort of addresses Lady Beck, who he has also grabbed, he looks at Fear, and he just sort of gives a grumble. He's like, "Do you have a story for me?"
I am a storyteller. Of course I've got a story for you.
I was waiting for Freya to go, "Nah, mate, didn't catch me. Too bad. Unlucky."
Yeah, you don't have to. He doesn't seem to have you in a tricky spot, but he is requesting one. Maybe he can sense you're a bard.
What's the point of a story if it's not in song form, alright?
Sing, 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 sing.
I love it.
Wait, where's my ukulele?
It's going to be a very short song, so if you could play the ukulele.
Wait
Alright.
a second, I gotta put on my background noise
Very
again.
dramatic story about how I saved Flynn from a siren attack, and how he
Love
also
it.
got very upset because Jeremy did something unexpected. Are you ready?
Can you hear it?
Mhm.
Yep, you're
Cool.
Whenever you're ready, just go with the vibe.
Oh my gosh.
We set sail east until we came across said beast. Flynn went for a dip. Well, still intoxicated from a single rum sip. I picked Flynn out of the sea, and the sonics now are starting to flee. Jeremy comes to the top and steals the kill from Flynn with a clifty plop, plop. And then I take a lovely bow. And
That
just
was so good.
that was prepared from when I had to possibly tell Fenric what happened after the siren attack.
I'm so glad it made it on.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Freya.
Oh,
So I just
my ears
Oh,
are
no.
traumatized.
You guys.
I can't remember for a second.
She says, to be 100% honest, I could not hear Rob over the ukulele.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Because I have no fucking idea what the story was.
It was the story of
I wanted in the Discord chat ages ago.
it was
Yes,
yeah.
it's the one that he sent
Instead.
us.
Oh,
She did say no. I'm pretty confident in your performance abilities, though, if you just want to roll a flat performance and see. I thought it was beautiful, but I mean, if the judge can't hear it, she said no, so I'm sorry.
The
A
ukulele
7.
made it, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I love
The
that.
ukulele really made that story.
That was awesome.
So 17 plus 8, so 25. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I fucking figured. You're fine.
He's like, "Fuck you, judge."
The treant sort of reaches a leafy wooden hand over in front of you, Fear, and sprouts a little flower on his fingertip, and it breaks off and falls towards you. He gives you a little flower. 'Cause that was very
I
cute.
paid more time for him. Just
Very
thank you.
sweet. That was awesome. And with that, the treant sort of all he's holding up left is Lady Beck, and he sort of pulls her close. And he looks at her closely, sort of her amulet is now dangling in front of her. And he does not ask her for a story. He sets her down, and you see a similar flash in his eyes as he sort of he casts a spell that you can't quite see, and she, with the flash of some fog and little wisps, she has been turned into a tree.
What?
You see Lady Beck where she was standing. There is now a small magnolia tree bonsai sort of curled to the side with little pink blossoms mixed in with the leaves. And it is sitting in a way its roots have overgrown around itself in a way that it is sort of like its own pot. And it is sitting there where she was standing. And you do see the amulet that she was wearing along with her little tiara is sitting sort of over various branches on the bonsai tree.
Shit.
What?
Are we still getting paid? What's going on here?
It's not literally Fear's reaction.
Pretty much.
Tracks.
I think-
It tracks.
Oh my god.
I think
Does anyone else have a reaction?
I think I want to ask the tree why it did that.
What did
I
you
would
do and
say
why?
with a grumble, his body shifts and his roots start to plant, and his face disappears back into the bark as if he was never animated.
I walk up to where his face was and bang against it with my fist, and I'm like, "Why did you do that?"
I was going to suggest setting on fire, but we'll go with that one first.
Got produced flame. I mean, we can just take
Exactly.
a lesson.
Forest fires.
Oh my god! How? Okay, so what do we do now? How do we? I don't have any spells that can. I can't talk to plants. I can talk to animals.
I could try messaging the plant, but I'm not sure it'd understand.
Oh my god!
Boldar still.
Technically, she's not dead because the plant is a
Yeah,
living
she's
thing.
alive. She's just a.
If the
just a
plant
tree.
dies, I'm going to assume Lady Beck dies. So someone keep that shit watered.
Boldar is still. Well, I've got a rain cloud above me, but then she'll be.
Shit, water.
The thing is, she'll be overwatered. She'll be overwatered at that point. I have like water her for a bit and then hand her off to someone else.
You just got to run past her quickly, just so you don't overwater.
Make the noise as well. Yeah, Boldar's still just like slamming his fist against this tree.
So she's in. You said the roots.
Oh
are
my
coming out-
god.
What?
Sorry. Becky typed, make me into a wooden dildo and smack that fucking tree to death with me.
You have that spell yet?
Yeah,
Quote anybody?
we haven't got that
I
spell
don't
yet.
have that spell yet.
I don't know
I'm
what-
sorry, lady.
I don't know what anyone's like carving ability is like wood carving.
Don't carve. Lady Beck. She's not dead.
She's not dead.
Okay, hold on. You said her roots come up so that she's like in her own like a pot, so like we could pick her up feasibly.
Yes, she's mobile.
Okay, we gotta
See
we gotta-
anything else around?
What?
Can we see any like wisp around still, or is it just the tree that's gone back?
Yeah, you do see another one off in the distance. The same ones that Boldar was following. In the same trajectory.
This tree was a distraction. It's not even what we're here for.
It was the first obstacle. Oh no. Okay, well Boldar is the strongest. So I guess Boldar, you need to pick up Lady Beck and you need to carry her. And I guess we can keep following these lights and hope it takes us somewhere good. Bird.
So my suggestion earlier of putting her in the garden,
Yeah,
we probably should have done that.
The tree put the garden in her. I don't know what you're talking about.
we could.
Oh, we wanted.
We still have the amulet. We could use the amulet and put her in the little garden.
That would be lighter, probably. Or is she the only one that can open the amulet?
I don't know.
But if we put her in the garden and then we find out how to reverse her, but she's got to be there like instantly.
Yeah, but that's
She
fine.
won't get
We'll get her back out of the amulet. If we can open it to put her in there, we can open it to get her out there. So that's not really an issue. It's just whether we can open it to put her in there, I guess.
Okay, well, as the primary magic user of the group, I'm going to take the amulet and see if I can activate it and open up the garden. Just go to it
Yeah.
and just see if that...
Wave your fingers at it. And...
Yeah. Every bit of magic he does
You-
now involves this. It's part of his level up.
You pick up the amulet, and again, it has sort of that intricate carving of the chimera on the front. And as you turn it over on the back, it has a very large plastic red button that says "Push me to open."
Oh.
And it's
Not very
very
much
easy. You
go.
can put it on the ground, and it opens right up.
To be fair, Boldar probably wouldn't have figured that out. So.
Okay, I'm gonna open up the garden and gently place Lady back inside. I'm not gonna toss her like I did my dog. She still has to pay us, so
Oh my
Um,
God.
Right, shit,
That's
dogs
your
try
guys'
and-
As a plant, she'll remember this if you throw her in there. You don't want that coming out of your pay.
yeah.
What if? I just had a thought. What if one of the dogs tries to like pee on her?
That's fine. We won't know.
George!
Plausible deniability.
We won't know,
Just like
but she will.
It's plausible
Oh
deniability.
my God.
Is there like
Becky,
a pedestal
I'm
in the
so
garden?
sorry. This is not what I thought the reaction to you being a tree would be. It's fine if she gets peed on. It's
Yeah.
fine.
We
We
should just
won't
be
see
thankful.
It
it.
comes with the
We should be
territory.
thankful Finn's not here. He'll be twerking to try and get her back. So
This is
That's
the
true.
kind of D&D I signed up for. By the way, just letting you all know.
Oh my God.
I imagine because it's a
Um.
magical garden. I imagine conditions in there are like they get enough sunlight, they get enough water, they get enough everything. They're taken care of.
Magic.
like I said, outside, out of mind.
Then
It's
we
fine.
don't. Then we just don't have to manage her survival because she'll be fine.
You could try asking her.
I,
Still
I
talking to the
asked
tree?
the tree.
The tree does not answer. It's a tree.
The trees.
I ask again.
I'm gonna start our intermission now. Is everyone ready?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, you have a tree friend now, and have successfully put her into the pocket garden along with the dogs. Does Maya, is she ever interested by plants, George?
Yeah, she likes to stick her face in plants and sniff them and that kind of thing.
She don't eat them though.
Well,
Please say no.
no.
What about Herbie?
He has munched on some succulent, so I think a tiny magnolia bonsai will be fine. Or not tiny, a human-shaped magnolia bonsai will be fine.
Okay. Good to know. Unrelated. I just random questions. With that though, the treant has sort of returned to his initial dormant position, and there is still a wisp off in the distance that has yet to be interacted with, and who was it? Shit. Is it Boldar still has a little rain cloud above his head?
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do?
We follow the wisp still.
Follow those wisps.
Alright, this time we keep a bigger distance between ourselves and
Yeah.
Boulder.
Yeah, I'm good
I
with
mean,
that.
you're assuming
Fine,
you're assuming
that's
Boldar's
fine.
leading the way again. Boldar goes to walk
Yeah.
away from the tree and follow the wisp, and then walks back one last time to kick the tree again.
Make a point.
Roll to attack.
That's the spirit.
It's 19.
19.
That
Yeah.
tree falls over, mate.
I kicked the tree over.
If you want to roll your melee damage, isn't that a D8 or a D6?
Are we
think it's-
starting a fight here now?
Yeah, what is it for melee? It's less, isn't it, than the normal?
I'll try and find it.
I feel like it might be a 6, but I'm not sure.
I don't have my glasses on. This is a problem. Melee attacks. An unarmed strike. Bludgeoning damage equal to 1 plus your strength modifier. What is that?
So it's 1 plus your strength modifier. My strength modifier is
Yeah.
actually plus 5 at the moment.
So it does 6 damage?
Nice.
Nice.
Alright.
Yeah,
So you kick it, you make a little dent into
A
his
crack.
bark. And his face doesn't reappear, but you do sort of hear that emanating, rumbling voice come back, and he says, I have 138 hit points left, and advises you to walk away.
I reckon we can do that much.
I kick him again.
If
Do you want to? Are you gonna
Yes.
kick him again?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick him
Come on,
again.
guy. Come on. He's just
Roll
a
to
tree.
attack.
Fuck this tree.
Guy, no.
20.
Oh my god.
Is that a dirty 20?
No, a nat 20.
My God.
All right, you get double damage. So what is that? 12 damage?
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna make this tree freaking attack us. Stop.
All right, give me a sec.
No.
All right, Freya's got that. Everybody roll initiative.
God damn it.
Oh bollocks.
Oh, come on, George.
You had to kick the tree. You had to kick the fucking tree.
Had to make a point.
A 10.
Alright, well, good
That's-
thing I've already got a strat ready for this shit.
That's a crit fail for Bray.
I got a dirty 20 on initiative.
Nice. I got a nat 20 on initiative. Jeez. Where's all the 20s coming from?
And Flynn. So you guys are down a person. We'll need
Would
one
be
for
a
Jeremy.
fight.
What did Fear get?
10.
10.
It should not be an encounter.
You teach this tree a lesson. I have a tinderbox.
I think we all do, don't we?
Yeah, I think we all do. At the same
10
time,
torches as well.
everyone
so-
get out a tinderbox and a torch at the same time.
Dude, I got fucking magic.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to waste his
Those
resources.
magic fingers, remember? So.
Oh, yeah.
But you are wasting a spell slot.
I think it's a cantrip, actually.
Oh.
How
Never
many hit
mind.
points did this tree have? Like 130 something.
There was 138 before we did 12 damage.
Yeah.
So 126.
That's only like
Easy.
double. That's only like double Boldar's health.
Exactly. As long as he focuses on Boldar.
Frey and I furiously getting a combat tracker over.
God.
Okay.
Boldar has 64 HP now.
Lucky for some.
Okay, but you guys haven't healed.
Okay,
So I
so he has
currently
40
have-
HP.
40 left. Fenric has 21. Fear has 20. And then Bray has 25. Does that all sound right to everyone?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
my tracker says 26 out of 27.
But you didn't heal when you leveled up.
No, so I think my level up's gone wrong.
Mayhaps.
What's it should be? 20.
I think because you took 1 HP damage when you leveled up. If you used D&D Beyond, it might have pulled you
Yeah,
up. So
I
you
think
have
it's
20 out of
24.
27.
Yeah, I think it's just gone. Oh, he's got 7 more health, so he's gonna only have 1 damage.
Okay. Real quick, just for the purposes of our thing here, what's everyone's max HP?
27 for Fear.
35.
35 for Bray?
Yeah.
Nice. What about Boldar? What was that
64.
again? Nice.
Fenric is 31 max.
31?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. I think Freya's got that. Okie doke. Alright, so Boldar took a kick and make a little dent in the bark of this treant, and he sort of grumbled a warning, letting you know how powerful he is. And then Boldar, upon hearing that, was like, well, I'm big too, and fucking kicked him again, and now there is a Boldar shoe dent into the bark on the side of this treant, this massive tree. And that will start the round. At the top, we have Fenric. What do you do?
Oh boy. God damn it. All right. Fighting a. Despite my judgment as a druid, I'm now fighting a tree.
Set him on fire.
I don't want to do that to this poor.
Burn the
tree.
forest down.
I'm not the one that instigated this shit.
If anything, some of us should just step back and let Boldar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we not just all take a step back and then just let
This is
Boldar
personal beef.
do whatever he wants?
Boldar, I'm gonna let you just
As soon as he got us into this mess.
go in your dumbass rage all by yourself. Your rage of stupidity, and I'm just gonna walk away. I'm walking towards the wisp. I'm not dealing with this. You're the one that fucked with the end. You can deal with it. Consequences.
Okay, what's your speed?
35.
Okay, so you get to that next wisp, and it sort of similarly disappears, and another one along the trail lights up. I am going to put a walking away note next to Fenric. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I will. I think I'm good. I'm good. That'll be it. I'll just walk.
We start a fight when we don't have our biggest hitter in the
Yeah,
party.
for real.
We have fire though. No one's using fire.
The person that has the main fire source is walking away.
That's right. We have tinder and torches
Oh
with
my
fire.
god. Oh my god.
Okay. Boldar is next.
Okay. Boldar takes out his tinder and a torch and lights it.
Make a survival check
This is where I can't light it.
with disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 16 at disadvantage.
Damn. Okay. So despite this being a very marshy, trodden area, not very keen on being lit, you do get some embers going sort of at the base of this tree. It has just started. You don't see an immediate reaction. This is basically the equivalent of lighting someone's beard on fire. It's gonna take a second. That was technically an action, but was there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
Stoke the flames.
What?
I stoke the flames.
Oh my god. All right, clearly that is representative of what's happening here. Next is the Treant. Let me pull that up.
I was hoping me and Bray would have a chance to walk away first.
Yes, I was like.
He, with one of his branchy, spindly arms, just slams it into the ground and lifts up and holds a large Boldar in the air. Boulder, not a Boldar. You're still at the base of him. And he slams it to the base of his trunk where he sees that you have started this fire at you. So that is plus 10 to hit. If we could have that roll to see if it hits his AC. D20
What's
plus
the modifier?
D20 plus 10 to hit.
It's a 29 total.
Does that hit your AC, Boulder?
No. No, it doesn't.
And that will do 4d8 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. Or sorry, 4d10 plus 6.
Yeah, I'm walking away.
Absolutely. I don't want any part of this.
$37 damage.
You have 3 HP left. He lifts this rock up and giggles like he doesn't know that your name is Boldar, but like somehow he knows. And he sort of gives a hearty giggle at the irony, and just this comes crashing down. Maybe like a cartoon, you guys see Boldar's legs sort of up stuck under this Boldar. Boldar, god damn, I'm sorry, Boulder. And it sort of shrugs off as the momentum continues. So he's not still under the boulder. But he is not looking good. He is bloodied thoroughly. And that is the Treant's turn, and next is Fear.
I'm gonna advise Fear. No, I'm gonna advise Boulder, not myself, Boulder, to leg it. Because I'm gonna go follow Fenric. Because I can be killed in one hit from that.
So are you asking Boldar to follow, or how does that look?
I'm basically saying, Boulder, if you want to die, stay here. Otherwise, start running that way, mate. And then I'm just slowly backing off, just like, Fenric, where are you, mate?
All my boys.
I'm coming.
I would say that the Treant doesn't take his opportunity of attack that would normally allow. I think both Fenric and Fear have proven themselves as good storytellers, so he is unbothered. But at that, then Boldar, you're pretty dazed. You done been hit, son. But if you feel like he would listen and get up and follow, he has that opportunity to agree. Or if you think that Boldar would still want to stay, we could do a persuasion contest here.
I think Boldar would. He looks at the tree. He's like this. At the tree. And then flips the tree off and he walks away.
He walks away?
Yeah.
Okay. So you heed to Fear's warning then. We're falling a little bit out of order, but could then Boldar have a D8 rolled, please?
By me. 6.
Okay. You see a similar glint of blue flash in the face of the Treant, who did become animate, and the face did reappear to spot a boulder for Boldar. That glint flashes, and you do hear some distant flapping that's getting closer and closer. And you see a solid white duck with a flat orange bill fly towards Boldar. And as you're sort of stomping away all coy after flipping him off, this duck sits on your head now, and it has just taken its spot there. And what's funny is you do have that rain cloud still. Duck is unbothered. You have now a duck and a rain cloud above you, Boldar. You're looking a bit silly.
So how did you start a fire with a rain cloud over you?
That's dinner for tonight, sorted.
That's why I gave him disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. All right. Next is Bray. Still in the area.
Bray's out of there. He just looks at the tree and just sort of goes, and then just walks off, joins the others. Doesn't want any part of that.
Okay. Sorry, Freya's typing excellent ideas over here. Again, I don't think the Treant is going to take that opportunity of attack. You did pass that storytelling check, so he's allowing. He got what he needed out of you, and feels like he's made things even with Boldar, with both almost killing him and cursing him with a couple fun objects. Let's see. Fenric, Jeremy still technically has a turn. Now, not asking what Fenric would want Jeremy to do, but you know him better than I do. What do you think Jeremy would do? Is he just going to follow you guys as well? Figure I'll open that up to you.
He one-on-ones the tree.
Would he spit on the tree?
He one hit kills.
No, I think
One hit
I
kills.
think he'd follow Fenric, sure.
yeah,
I think he would.
I think Jeremy's smart enough to know not to fuck around with a Treant, and
He'd just sort of see Fenric like walking off, and he'd just, without even looking around anywhere else, he'd just like straight away follow Fenric, like eyes just solely on him. I think.
I think so too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I don't know that the Treant would have asked for a story from a horse. I think he drastically underestimated Jeremy's intelligence. I'm sure he could have told a great story, but he's gonna let him sort of walk away as well.
Thank God.
You guys have solved ? The Treant puzzle. Boldar, you are bleeding. Again, just to sort of peek behind the curtain, we wanted to include a Treant just because I love them. They're so cool. And we pulled up their stats, and I was like, God, I hope they don't start a fight with this one. Oh boy. Love Boldar. Don't change.
He offended Boldar. He felt wronged.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So with that, I would say, unless someone would say otherwise, you're sort of continuing to follow these wisps that are sort of dancing and illuminating along the trail in front of you as you guys continue. And you guys have been walking for about an hour. It's been about sort of the same imagery, just very dense, marshy forest around. You don't seem to see any Treant faces appear. Was there anything that you guys think your characters would do on a forest stroll like this, or are we just continuing on?
I think I would at least cast Cure Wounds to heal Boulder a little.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's kind of what I was
Very
thinking.
kind.
I would offer him a hit. I would offer him a health potion, but he got himself into that mess.
Yeah.
So he gets no sympathy from me.
I just come up to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and be like, "Dude, you need to learn who to pick a fight with. Heal him for 10 hit points, and then just sort of wander off in front of him."
So you're back at 13. Yes, no? Did I do
Yes.
it wrong?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, just want to make sure. That's what I have.
Yeah.
Sweet. Every little bit helps. You're still not looking super cute, but the bleeding has stopped. So thank you, Fear. Anything else your characters would want to do on this beautiful forest stroll?
I killed this duck.
All right, you can roll to attack. What are you using to kill it?
My axe.
Please don't kill the duck.
Wait,
Just
wait,
slicing
wait.
your own head.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
No, he takes it off his
Yeah.
head. I mean,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can you talk to the duck? Can you communicate with animals?
no.
Not you, Boulder. Fenric.
I can tell the duck it's going to die if you want.
Oh my
No, I
God.
don't want that. Can you just ask the duck what it's doing here, please? If it's important, another Treant comes looking for its duck. I swear to God.
If another Treant comes looking for its duck, we never saw a duck.
Roll to attack.
Oh my God.
No.
It's a 16.
Yeah.
All right, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Duck has like 100 HP.
That is an 8.
You bring this axe down and slice its head off, and blood just pours onto the sodden, mossy ground. And the duck's eyes remain open, looking up at you, empty. It's jarring. And rain
Wow.
continues to pour and dilute the blood that is on the ground at your feet.
Nice.
Like, I'm not a druid, but I feel bad for this.
That's
duck.
less cleaning that needs to be done. Now we can pluck it,
Oh my god.
and yeah, then we got a meal.
And then
Did you hit your head or something when the ship sank? Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Boldar is on one today. George, are you okay?
I'm okay.
I love it. I love it. Please be safe.
Like, you're throwing fear off his game. Come on, guy.
I know you're being just as chaotic.
Well, it gets rid of the duck, and it provides us with food. There's no downside.
You hear a fluttering in the distance, and another duck appears. This one now has a little wicker fisherman's hat on his head, and he sits on your head, right as the last one. And the previous duck's body has sort of dissipated into fog and filled the air around you, and has become one with the mossy arena that you guys are in.
Honestly, just don't kill the next duck, please.
It's gonna come back with an even weirder hat. Please just
Yeah.
don't.
As much as I want to know what hats it's got, like, when there's a duck with a fez, maybe, like, we can stop there, but honestly, stop killing ducks, please, Boulder. Please.
Oh, I hate forests.
So just as like a completely separate thing, I think Fenric would be like gathering up random pieces of like tree bark and like little flowers and shit that he needs for his spells and everything, and druid crap, you know. Just like as they're walking
Druid
along, he'll find, you know, like he'll find some like like little flowers or something, and be like, yeah, I can use that in this ritual, and just picks that up. I don't know what it all would be.
Go ahead and roll a nature check, I would say.
Oh, motherfucker. I rolled a natural 1. God damn it. Picking up
Okay,
the most
what-
poisonous plants. Just getting
One.
covered in poison ivy.
Let's see. So I would probably do this differently. Like if you're investigation, I'd have you find nothing. But this is a crit nature fail.
Oh, wait a minute. I have advantage on these? Right? When there's a red dot next to it on D&D Beyond, does that mean I have advantage on those skills?
You have proficiency,
That's what it is. Yeah.
which that influence your modifier, but a fail is a fail.
Yeah.
So you come back and you find this beautiful, like burnt orange, like almost like sienna, like gorgeous range of colors, this little chanterelle mushroom. And other than that, I mean, you tried grabbing some bark and flowers, but it's a pretty marshy area. There wasn't really an opportune moment. A lot of that bark is pretty sturdy. Maybe you're nervous. You think, is that a treant? I don't know. You don't really go for that. But you do find a little bunch of chanterelle mushrooms.
Cool. Just throw that in my inventory.
Is there anything else your guys' characters would want to do?
Just keep looking back at Boulder just to check he's not, like, touching any trees, just like supervising Boulder.
Is Boldar acting? Is he behaving? What's he doing? Is he kicking all the trees he walks by?
Yes.
Oh my god. You're gonna piss off the woods.
A boulder, come scream. No. None of the trees that are around are treants. Maybe you get a little bit of a bruised toe, though, mayhaps. What does Bray? How does he feel in being in this marshy forest? It's not really his element. Is he sort of sticking to the trail, or is there anything he's inclined to do?
Yeah, I think he's sort of sticking to the trail and sort of sticking with sort of close to the other guys. Like he's he's not too familiar with these kind of surroundings, so he doesn't want to wander off too far on his own. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have a particular reaction when Fenric approaches back with some mushrooms?
Bray's
Are
quite
y'all
hungry.
like, that's for him?
Bray's quite hungry, so
I ask Fenric, like, do you know what those mushrooms are?
He knows
Yeah.
that they're chanterelles.
He's like,
Per his
no,
role. He's
mushrooms?
confident. Confident that they're delicious chanterelle mushrooms.
I know that they're mushrooms. I know they look like chanterelles, and I'm pretty confident that these are going to cook up real nicely. I think we can safely say that with a lot of confidence, like way too much confidence, that these are going to be delicious.
If anything, he's overconfident. that
I'm
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
overconfident.
And now everyone's wary. He's too confident.
Leave that for you then.
You enjoy those, mate?
I guess we can continue. Have fun with
Right,
your
well,
mushrooms, mate.
More for me. God. What's with you guys?
I love it. Okie doke. You guys continue on with that. You are just continuing following these will-o-wisps as they go. Go ahead and roll perception checks from each of you.
16 plus 5. 21. Proficient in it. I can see shit.
Apparently.
That's a 7.
Five.
Got a total of 19.
Okay, Bray 7, Boldar 5, Fear 21, Fenric 19.
Yep.
Sweet. Okie doke. Bray and Boldar, you guys are sort of walking along. Maybe you're feeling a hunger pain upon seeing those beautiful mushrooms pulled, but you aren't acting on it. You're just continuing on the trail. And then Fear and Fenric, you both hear very distant. It's hard to pick up, but a very just sort of joyous, childish laughter sort of coming from different directions. There's some giggling occurring off in this forest, but the will-o-wisps are still approaching in front of you.
You got anybody hear that?
Ah! I was just hoping I wasn't going insane, to be honest. So if you're hearing it and I'm hearing it,
I mean,
did
we
not
could
hear
just
anything.
both be going insane.
is it too late to just go back? And we can make a sandcastle. Boulder, you love sandcastles. Honestly, I'm a bit put off by this noise.
Dude, you just hate kids. I get it, but still, like, we came this far. I'm pretty sure that ant will literally just stomp us if we go back to it. I'd rather not do
Boulder
it.
with us. I'm sure if we just sort of like hide him behind a tree or not, and then
We'll
walk
shove
past,
him
like,
in the garden.
The
Probably
gar-
an even worse idea. He'll
the,
just
the garden is
crash
like a
through it.
plot solution device at this point.
So,
If in doubt, stick it in the garden.
to Boulder and Bray, I'm assuming this is what Fenric's hearing, but there's some like kids' laughter going on somewhere in the forest.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. So, who wants to lead the way?
Well, disembodied children voices typically means ghosts and other paranormal activity. So,
It might just be that the voice is being carried, so it doesn't mean ghosts.
either way, I'm gonna throw some magic at these bitches. So, I'll lead the way.
Do I need
I'll
to step
take point.
back if you're going to be clapping some cheeks?
Oh, not again.
They're locked and loaded.
It's nothing more than
Locked
hit.
and loaded.
Are we sure clapping
Oh.
cheeks is like the best
The optimal,
option?
the optimal
Hey,
spell in this situation.
It's a cantrip. It doesn't take up any spell slots. I will continue to use it until it works.
I
Yeah, but-
love the determination.
On the voices in the distance, so you're just going to use it on where we are. And...
Use it right now. Bam!
Roll. No. With that, you guys continue along the trail, and I would say as you guys move forward, you can go ahead and all four of you now, not just the two of you, can sort of hear this laughter. It seems to be getting slightly more audible as you guys continue forward. But you do just sort of hear this laughter. It doesn't seem to be continuous. It's just something that you sort of hear both surrounding you, but again, it does get more and more noticeable as you continue along. And then in front of you, you realize you interact with this closest wisp and it disappears, and you don't see another one now appear in front of you as you were before, continuing along this twisting trail. And where this has led you up is into at the top of another clearing that sort of goes down into this basin. And you see sort of along this area, it's edged by these sort of large, beautiful, sturdy looking mushrooms of different colors and shapes. Some of them with like sort of the dancing webbing laying down, some of just the red with the white spots, just a beautiful array of mushrooms around them. And sort of in the center of this valley, you see a large corpse flower with a pond at the center of it in the middle of this area.
Is the corpse flower in bloom? Because if it is, it's gonna be stanky.
You don't seem to smell anything right away.
All right, cool.
It is sort of per what Brooke had mentioned earlier when I said it sort of has a blue feel to it. It smells slightly, not a distracting amount, but kind of like a blue raspberry airhead. Very sweet smell in the air here.
Do you sense any magic going on, Fenric?
You can make an Arcana check, or I know you do have a spell for that as well.
We were literally following a bunch of will-o-wisps, and you're asking if there's magic around.
Yeah, but the wisps are gone now, so if there's any magic, surely it should be what's in this clearing.
Oh, that's true. You know what? We'll go ahead and cast. Where'd it go? Detect magic. Use. Okay. So I can detect the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. And I can use my action to see a faint aura around visible creatures or objects that bear magic. And I can see what
was that?
school of magic it is. I'm casting Detect Magic.
Okay, I need to look that up again. I'm sorry.
I was just reading it word for word.
Oh, well, I'm about to do the same fucking thing.
All right.
Because I didn't use it correctly last time intentionally because I wanted to help y'all out, but I also just don't know how it fucking works. So. Brooks is a gingerbread house. You sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. I'd say the flower in this whole arena, at least the center where the flowers is within 30 feet. If you sense magic, you can use an action to see a faint aura. We're out of combat, so I'll just say you do sort of get a light aura of the entire forest around you. This entire forest is just imbued with magic. But especially the corpse flower in front of you, the water specifically in this fountain inside of it is buzzing and pulsing with this magical aura. School of Magic. So I'll break the rules a little bit as well. You don't really sense a specific school of magic, but you do sort of get the sense of this sort of corner of this forest just feels closer to another plane, a magical plane, and that is it's sort of blurring the lines between what magic does on your guys' plane. You sort of get the sense that this whole place just within its location is imbued with this magic. And there is no foot of stone or metal in between you and the flower, so that's the end of that. But the TLDR, everything is magic around you, the ground, the soil, the air even, but this corpse flower is especially buzzing with power.
Cool.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
Just off that magic detection voodoo thing you just did, Yeah, jazz hands. It's about the magic being near to a different plane. And I was with Lady Beck when she got her fortune told. And it said that she pissed off the Fae, like the fairy folk. And their magic is pretty much a different sort of plane. From what I know. So I feel that her being turned into a plant without her doing anything as well sort of links up with that whole sort of scenario of her pissing off the Fae and they just getting revenge. But I don't know how to proceed. It's just
we
a
could.
thought.
Can I? I want to roll Arcana to see if I can tell if it's Fae magic. I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
I got a 15 plus 2. I got a 17.
I would say without a doubt you've confirmed this is Fae magic. Especially I think whether it was read or with actual experience, Fenric would probably also make the connection between the Will-O-Wisp and the Treant. This is definitely Fae magic. Similar to what you would see in the Feywild, but again, it is sort of danced onto your guys' plane here in this forest.
So I look over to Boldar and be like, "Don't fuck with any more trees, please. This is dangerous shit."
This is the fucking heart of the forest right here. Okay, like
Yeah.
you do not fuck with anything here. Go in the magic garden. Don't come back until you learned your lesson. Lord.
I feel the only way possibly to proceed is maybe looking into the pond fountain area. But whether getting closer to that creates something, does something, I don't know.
Are you approaching the fountain?
Feel edge towards the fountain.
How close do you get?
I've taken one step. Has anything happened?
No.
We'll go step by step.
You are 38 feet away. Nothing happens. No, I think I already saw Joe's 30. You're 25 feet away. Nothing
Going
happens.
backwards.
You keep going.
Yes.
uh,
I go
with-
to the point where I can.
Within arm's reach, like
Yeah, within arm's
realistically.
reach of sort of the pond area.
Okay. I would say you get about 10 feet away from it, and a large, ornately decorated arm emerges from this fountain. It sort of has painted, pointy nails and jewelry just sort of draping off of it, and it reaches its hand towards you in a way that it's asking for something.
This is a great
So
fairy
Kraken
fountain
out.
from
I'm
Zelda.
out.
Do you leave?
What's it asking for? I've got that gem, that whatever I bought.
The Azurite?
Azurite. I'll put the Azurite in the palm and see what happens.
Okay, you put it in her palm. Her hand very swiftly, almost aggressively, closes around it and disappears. And it comes back above. The Azurite is missing, and she is asking for a little bit more.
Does she want more Azurite? I also have Azurite. I'm not doing anything with it. I'll give her my Azurite as well. I will place my.
I've got is a hollowed out siren head, so
Oh my
I think.
God.
I don't want
Oh
this.
my God.
Yeah, I'll give her my
Okay.
Azurite as well.
I feel that they want the necklace.
I also feel that
So-
because I feel like it's a part of their plane or whatever. Like And
I
it's-
feel it's not in Lady Beck's like family.
yeah,
I feel maybe that's what she stole from the Fae, maybe.
or her family stole it from the Fae.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing.
Okay.
But we can't give them that.
So with
So
that,
we still get
she
paid if we give them the necklace, or
she accepts
get
the
paid?
second
Sure.
azurite, and it extends one more time, empty-handed. But you sort of feel a rumbling from the ground beneath you, and you hear a very bubbly, female voice sort of shudder. She says, "Just a hair more."
Okay, I'm gonna cut a little bit of Jeremy's mane, and I'm gonna take some horsehair and put it in.
She
the
want a
hand.
feather off my like wing as well.
Wait, can she get a piece of hair from all of us and a feather from Fear? You guys good with
Are-
that?
Are you pulling your hair out?
No,
Well,
somebody's got a
yeah.
knife, right?
Nobody has a hair?
I'll pull out a hair. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'll pull it out. It's just, like, you
Have
could cut it.
hair. Do you not have ear hair from the was it goblin you killed?
No, I think Bray ate it.
He
Yeah.
gave it back to you.
No, I don't think he did. I think I didn't take it back from him.
I think he doesn't want to admit that he still has it.
I don't think I took it back from him. It's not in my inventory anymore.
The other idea is that we open up the amulet, get everyone out, and then hand the amulet over. Lady Beck won't like it, but
I think that upon hearing that you guys are talking about ripping hair out of a horse, she sort of sighs and her hand goes back into the fountain. And again, with another rumble, you see a massive female figure emerge from the fountain at the center of this flower. Similar to her arm, she is ornately decorated in jewelry and gems. And you see different Fae artifacts sort of dressing her. And she appears and sort of lurches forward. Her massive head is probably about 10 feet wide, a very intimidating sized figure in front of you. And she just gives a smile and says, I think that'll do. And with that, she asks one of you to approach upon the flower. She sort of indicates with her hand in front of her, asking someone to step forward.
Any volunteers?
I would like to point at Fenric and use message.
Go for it.
If you want to go up there, I can cast Zone of Truth around yourself and the Fae so they cannot lie.
I'll do it.
But they will know I've cast this, so they can avoid answering questions on that. It's just that they can't deceive you.
That is a risk I'm willing to take. I'm good with that. I like that.
What's the plan?
Oh, you don't need to know this.
Okay.
Alright.
So I'm going to cast Zone of Truth. Alright, it's a 15-foot radius sphere. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn in there must make a charisma saving throw. If they failed, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An infected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie.
Okay. And are you where are you centering then this sphere?
Just in front of the Fae, to where, so it would cover the Fae, what we're assuming is the Fae, and Fenric when he goes up to.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
ideally it should cover both when he's walked up.
Does that
Okay.
mean Fenric has to tell the truth as well?
Fenric would only be able to tell the truth or avoid answering.
He'd have to roll charisma.
Why
Can
wouldn't
I
you put
just
it?
intentionally fail?
Why wouldn't you put it further back so that so that he can lie if he wants to? Fenric.
Because he's got to be within arm's reach of the Fae, 'cause she just put her arm out. So
Bray, if we could just have a flat d20 for that charisma save. What's the DC?
13.
The 15.
Okay, so she can lie. And Fear then knows that. What about Fenric?
There goes that plan. It's going to backfire. Now
Oh,
Fenric has to
no.
tell the truth and
Failed.
think can lie.
Oh, I got an
If
8.
anything, it's just like proving that you guys are genuine, maybe, to her in an odd way.
Yeah, so it's not going to it shouldn't backfire even if she failed the saving throw.
I mean, I would probably try to tell the truth anyway to this
He probably would.
seemingly all-powerful fairy goddess, whatever the hell I'm looking at. So
I just wanted to be able to use that spell, so I thought this was the best time.
that's fair. All right, I am approaching the fairy very truthfully.
Very truthfully.
So I'm the only one that knows that the Fae can lie.
Yes.
Oh, so
As you sort of you take a hefty step to get up onto the pedal closer to her. Go ahead and roll a d4.
Okay, I rolled a 1.
All right. With that, she leans in and gives you a quick wink, and you sort of see a flutter of wisping magic as she does so. And then you are now fully healed. That's the equivalent of a long rest for you. And she sort of looks to the rest of the group for them to approach as well.
I will take a step forward. I will approach.
I'm stepping off the pedal. Guys, this is awesome.
What might be interesting, I don't know if it's relevant, is that now you are entering your zone of truth. If you could roll charisma. That lasts, how long does it last? 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So
13 plus 6, so 19.
Jesus
you can
Christ.
lie. And then go ahead and roll a d4.
Yeah, the problem is she's not said anything.
Well, you can ask questions. I didn't. She healed my ass. I'm good.
Right. I got a 2.
With that, she sort of gives a very wide smile, and
Go
she
like this.
blows a kiss, and you feel just sort of a warm wind blow past you as she blows a kiss your way, and the sweet smell of sort of fruity berries sort of waves over you in a very pleasant way, and you are also equivalent of a long rest as well. And she looks to the group.
Can I just ask, did you help turn Lady Beck into a tree?
Hmm. She pauses for a moment and she says, I don't know who Lady Beck is.
Not for me, I'll walk off.
She looks to the group.
Boldar, you may want to take this time. You're not doing so hot in terms of health right now.
Bray will take a step forward.
Go ahead and make your charisma save. You're entering the zone of truth.
8.
You cannot lie.
Fantastic.
Maybe you throw a look at Fear, I don't know. Go ahead and roll a d4.
4.
She leans forward, and right when she got to the closest of when she had winked, and she keeps going, and she lays a fat old smooch right onto Bray's forehead. Though he's much smaller, it may have just been his entire face. This would normally be an unpleasant experience, maybe a bit damp, but it is warm, and she smells like berries and fruit, and you just feel instantly energized, and you as well are fully healed and equivalent to a long rest.
All I'm hearing is
she-
Bray likes
needs-
berries, so that's.
Gives you a
He's getting 3.
massive face kiss. Roll dexterity just for shits and giggles.
Roll dex.
I guess.
It shouldn't be too bad, actually. Famous last words. That's a 9 total.
You were not expecting a full-on kiss, and she kind of like the section of it, you get a little bit more wet than you wanted to. You kind of look like Boldar right now with his little cloud and duck right now.
Hot.
So that was a little gross, but you don't feel gross. And she looks at Boldar.
I guess Boldar goes up as well.
Roll charisma. I'm not keeping track of this. Just in the off chance that you want to lie. The honor fierce spell here.
It's 17 minus 1, so it's 16.
You can lie. Lie away. You approach her and she gives you an odd look and she sort of waves an arm and the cloud goes away, but the duck does stay. She sort of, with a large finger, very delicately boops the duck on his beak, and you can roll a d4.
Please get a 3. It's the only one we're missing.
It is a 3.
Oh my god. And I'll say in one solid motion, she boops the duck's beak, and then as well, just her pointed finger barely touches Boldar's nose, and he as well is fully healed, equivalent to a long rest.
64
And
HP
with
again.
that, she sort of addresses the group. She is short on words, but with an arm motions towards the center of this arena, and you see a couple pixies fly about with beautiful sort of sparkling fairy wings and glitter that's flowing off of them. Just a few set out sort of just random things that you think may have been left behind by other travelers. Not a full set, but they sort of arrange a little a pan and a little fire pit, sort of tumble some rocks together and some other bedrolls and such, and sort of disappear along with that short joyous giggle. And with that, the large fairy gives a good hearty cackle and a giggle, throws one more wink your way, and finds her way back inside of her fountain.
We capture some of the pixies in bottles.
Oh my god.
Do you have a bottle?
No, I don't think so. Someone pour out one of those health potions. I played a video game or two, and this is worth more than a health potion.
I have an iron pot. Would that work?
That could do.
Probably fit more than one in there.
You could
Yeah,
put all
get all of them.
you in there, yeah.
Did you want to try and catch one?
Does it have
If
a
you
lid?
have a plan, we can figure out what to roll.
Does your pot have a lid? Otherwise, it's fruitless.
It just says pot, comma, iron, and then on the side it says container. So
I would like
Oh.
no part in this, so I'd like to sit down and start playing my lute.
If it's considered a container.
Pixies.
just cover it with my
Did I
shield.
say fairies? I meant pixies.
You said pixies.
Okay. You could have told me the opposite and I would still believe you, so. Just for the remainder of our session here, to be transparent, they did offer this sort of as an area to set up camp. Sort of hard to tell the time of day in here just with the light being blocked by the heavy sort of canopy of trees above you. But my plan for the rest of the session here is to have an opportunity to roleplay, have you guys set up camp, and then ultimately take a rest here in this area in sort of this Great Fairies Pavilion. If you wanted to try and grab a pixie, you can do so. Just let me know whatever you want to do. We'll figure out a role. But otherwise, this is up to your characters to sort of interact with each other in their environment.
Can I try to talk to one of the pixies?
Talk to the what?
One of the pixies?
Yeah. If you wanted to sort of approach one, she is going to sort of zip away behind something nearby. So she isn't fully left, but she is hiding behind a mushroom Not very trusting of you yet, but you do hear a little gentle giggle as well. But she is out of sight, but still nearby.
Okay, so I'm like trotting over to the mushroom she's hiding behind and say, "Hey, look, I don't, I'm not here to hurt you or anything. I just want to say thank you for letting us stay here. Um, but I had a question that I wanted to ask. I don't know who's holding the amulet.
You in, weren't you?
Oh yeah, I
Sorry,
did
one more
grab it.
time?
Yeah, no, I'm holding the amulet. Never mind.
Okay.
I go up to the pixie and I pull out the amulet and I say, "Have you ever seen this before? Do you know what this amulet is?"
I would say upon seeing that amulet, she does jump back. She doesn't giggle, and she sort of flies above you in a circle and then zips into the trees.
Shit.
Go ahead and roll dexterity.
Oh boy. Great. I got a nat 1. Got a crit 1. Critical fail.
Go ahead and roll a d8.
Boy. That's also a 1. So hopefully it's not
The
as...
d8 was a 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so she spins above you, and sort of the glitter that falls from her pixie wings, you are just staying put below her, and it sort of lands on top of you. And you feel your skin on your hands get tight, and you pull them up and look down, and your hands have shrunk at the wrist, and you have teeny tiny little baby hands now. She has cursed you and flown away with tiny hands.
Guys. I
Um,
did something wrong.
What did you do?
I got baby hands.
Did we not discuss not messing with the Fae or any
I
kind
asked-
of Fae type magic?
I was asking a simple question. Okay, and I hold up with my little baby hands the amulet. I'm like, I asked her if she had ever seen this thing. I have a little fake tiny hand that I used to put on my fingers, and I don't know where it is right now, but
Oh my
I would be
God.
pulling that out right now. Like,
What language did the pixies even communicate in?
Oh, there's a word for it. I'll pull it up. Is it? I thought there was a different word for it. I trust you though. I thought it was Sylvian, but Sylvan, Slivan. I don't
yeah,
know.
Okay.
Sylvan.
So can I approach? Can I ask Fenric? What did you ask? And how did you ask it?
And why did you ask it?
Where did you
Yeah.
ask it?
Okay, so look, I wanted to thank them. I found a pixie, walked up to her, and she kind of flittered behind a mushroom as they do, and I just started talking in, the common language, and I was trying to ask, saying thank you and everything, and I pulled out the amulet because um I wanted to know if they'd ever seen it before, if they knew what it was. And she kind of looked a little freaked out, and then she flew above me and sprinkled me with pixie dust, and now I've got baby hands.
Maybe I will go ask.
I flip him off with the baby hands.
Um,
Can I grab the amulet?
who are you flipping off?
Fear.
Okay. Real quick though, Fear, did you say that you were playing music earlier?
I was. I came over. I stopped and came over to talk to Fenric.
Okay.
Because I think
Would you?
came over playing music and talking to it.
Okay, could you roll performance for when you started playing earlier? I should have asked sooner.
23 total.
Beautiful. So I would say, just to retcon a little bit, the moment that you started playing, another more lavender colored pixie was approaching you. She was sort of on the edge of the area, but she was enjoying your music. And she stayed there while you were talking to Fenric.
Can I grab that pendant from you, Fenric? You can keep your baby hands to yourself. And then I'd like to go over to the was it lavender you said? Lavender pixie.
Yes.
And talk in their natural tongue, and just sort of try and coax out if that pixie knew anything about this amulet.
Cool. Do you speak Sylvan?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. Very cool.
Just ask the language.
You approach her, and she sees the amulet. That doesn't seem to catch her too off guard. When you do begin speaking in Sylvan, her eyes sort of light up, and she replies in the same tongue and just sort of in a small voice says, "That's a bad family."
Can I persuade her to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, I won't make you roll for that. I would say that she just doesn't know more than that. She just sort of looks at you expectantly. She just sort of voices that she knows that that is the family crest of a group of people that is not welcome here.
And I thank them in their natural tongue. We're still speaking, so everyone else is pointless. They don't know anything going on unless they understand the
Okay.
language. And I'm like, I want me to carry on playing music for you. This
Go
is
ahead
pixie.
and roll Dex with advantage.
With advantage, you said.
Yes.
14 total is the highest.
Okay. I would say she continues to listen to you, but does slowly sort of dance above your head a little bit to the music. And then as the sort of glitter and sort of magic embers from her wings float down, you feel very drowsy. Go ahead and make a con save. I'm asking for all the rolls from you guys today.
And that one.
You passed out.
Sweet.
I would say in this moment too, just because you are who you are, your feathers are still plucking at your instrument and still continuing to make beautiful music. It is a more active sleep, but you are flat on your back. And I'm not going to fully make that decision for your character because I don't want to control who you are in this game too much. If you have an argument or something that he would want to do beforehand or anything like that. Otherwise, Fear is thoroughly asleep.
I would just sound flat my back, and I'm happy that you said I was continue playing because that's what I was going to go with. So
Yes. So everyone is still surrounded by this beautiful music. You rolled very high on your performance. So this I think is genuinely the best music that the team has heard from you. Maybe you've been inspired by sort of the magical aura of this place. But it is very beautiful. So you guys have Fear sort of flat on his back. You got a boy with tiny hands. Was there anything that Boldar wanted to do?
Boldar's going to go and take the amulet from the now sleeping Fear.
oh god.
And Boldar's just going to go up onto the flower at the fountain and just sit. He sits down, he puts his knees up to his chest, and he looks at the amulet, and then he just asks out loud if there's any way he can help his friend who is now a plant.
I will say you feel a little bit of movement from the flower below you. And you do hear the fairy's voice again. She asks, "What friend?"
He says, I have a friend who was turned into a plant by a tree ant in this forest.
She
And-
says, "Can I see them?"
Okay. I guess I get off the flower, open the amulet, go in and get the plant and bring it back out. bring out Plant Lady Beck and bring her back out, and then
Okay.
go back onto the flower pedestal with the plant.
Okay. I would say at this point, upon like maybe the rift opening, excuse me, sorry, White Claw, above the amulet, the great fairy, she sort of lifts just the top part of her head over the fountain, and she's looking. She's not fully out. Maybe she's got like a leafy sleep mask on her forehead. She was already relaxed for the night, but she's intrigued by this question, and she sort of pokes her nose over and looks at this tree. And again, she's short on words, but she has extreme empathy for this moment. She can sort of feel that this was something that was very sudden. And she looks at Boldar and then to Lady Beck, and she just says, in this forest, we are very close to the Feywild. Our planes have sort of diverged in this moment, and I feel for this. While we are here, she cannot be on 2 feet. And she sort of again looks at you with large eyes full of empathy. And she does sort of reach an arm out and point a finger and touch it close to this little magnolia bonsai. And upon the touch, she does sort of imbue it with some magic. You're not really sure exactly. This isn't sort of Boldar's forte. But you do feel that the blossoms on what used to be Lady Beck have fully opened, and they look beautiful, and they sort of point at you in a loving way, but she isn't able to do anything else. But she did plant some type of magic within this little bonsai tree. And she ducks her head back in.
I guess Boldar sadly picks up his plant friend and trudges back into the garden and puts her back in there, and then trudges back out and
It's
closes
actually
it.
very beautiful.
Was there anything else Boldar wanted to do here?
I don't think so. I think he goes over. Maybe he goes over to like a far corner away from like the camp where everyone is, and just sits down there by himself for a little while.
Does anyone have a special reaction to seeing Boldar do that? Probably not fear, but or would you give him his space?
I think I'd approach him and I would just delicately, I don't want to come up to him in a harsh or mean kind of way or anything, but put my hands in my pockets so it doesn't freak him out or anything. Just kind of tell him like, hey, we want her to come back too, and we're worried about her, but that was really nice that you asked the fairy to help save her, and I think what she did means that Lady Beck will be all right.
I think
So-
Boldar would just give Fenric like a kind of like a forced smile, where he's kind of like, and he says, I've lost many friends, and I don't want to lose any more.
I understand how you feel, and if you need your space, that's fine. But you still have friends in us over here if you want to join us. If you want to, you don't have to. And then I turn and go back to the camp.
I think Boldar would at least wait by himself a while longer, just to reflect.
Oh. Was there anything that Bray would either do on his own or in reaction to this? Would he sort of let Fenric approach Boldar? What do you think Bray would do here?
I think Bray considers going to say something, but then after hearing what Fenric says, he's just like, well, can't really top that. Like, so he just sort of looks at Boldar and just gives him sort of like a gentle sort of nod. Sort of thing.
Almost a nod in reinforcement of what Fenric said.
Yeah.
Like that's how we feel.
And then he's getting quite hungry at this point. It's been a long day. So
Could you have those veggies?
That's a good point.
Hey man, I got these mushrooms. If anybody wants some.
We'll probably pass on the mushrooms.
All right, offer's still on the table.
I'll you know what? I'll let Fenric cook me up some mushrooms.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, I'll have the first bite.
This makes me glad I'm away from the camp and probably makes Fear
take
glad
that
he's
gamble.
asleep.
I'll take that gamble.
He'll wake up the next day and go, oh, it's such a shame I missed the poisonous mushrooms at dinner.
I'll take that gamble. It's been a long day. Our ship sank, and we had an experience in the forest. I'm not in the mood to go scavenging or looking for food. I'd rather let someone else cook for me.
All right, and I will do just that. I'll struggle a little bit with the baby hands, but I'll eventually get some nice cut up grilled mushrooms.
I'll be watching, sort of trying to hide laughter, watching you with your baby hands.
With his cooking utensils in his tiny hands.
Are you cooking up the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Okay, so sort of after the three of you, sorry Fear sort of missed out on that, had this sort of moment together, two of your party sleeping, the three of you feel this extra connection and this moment of empathy for Boldar. You do also, of course, throughout all of that interaction, Boldar still have that little duck on your head with the little fisherman's hat, so maybe that helps the team sort of move forward and try to bring up the light of how everyone's feeling in this moment. Of course, not happy that Lady Beck is currently not with you guys in her normal form, but here to at least enjoy some of the night here, as Fenric does maybe utilize that little fire pit that was rolled together with the pixies and the pot available. If you want to make a survival check with disadvantage, only because you got them wee little baby hands, it's probably hard to cook a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. Good thing I have a +5 on survival.
Jeez.
You said with disadvantage. That's still a 17.
Nice. You cook them beautifully. They're like very like, despite the lack of maybe resources you would normally have, crisped on the outside, but still have like that soft, fluffy texture of a mushroom on the inside. Very savory and beautiful. The smell is enchanting when you make these up.
I would attempt to feed one to the duck first as a test to see if they're poisoned, but I feel like Boldar might still need a little bit of alone time. Although seeing the duck possibly die might cheer him up. I'm not sure. So I will. I'm gonna take the hit on this one, and I'm gonna have a couple of bites of these delicious looking mushrooms, and hopefully I just don't like shit myself to death from eating them.
At least you'll give Bray a laugh if you do. He just watches you shit yourself to death.
Roll a d8.
Oh no! Oh, I got a 1. Thank goodness.
Oh.
You rolled
Roll the 1 on that d8. I hope it's. Did you Are you frozen?
She's frozen.
No.
Oh no!
She's. We
Can
can
you
hear
me,
you.
or
Yeah,
is it
you're
just
back.
my face?
You're
Yeah,
back.
you're
You're
back.
back.
Okay, well I'll leave and come back anyways.
You're
I won't
okay.
She made it sound like rolling a 1 was a bad thing
Yeah.
on this. I thought it was a damage roll.
There we go. You're back.
You're back.
Am I back?
Yeah.
You're back.
Am I here? Okay. You rolled a 1 again. You take a bite of this mushroom. It is still delightful. You know though now that this is not a chanterelle mushroom.
Oh no.
You rolled a 1 again. So your hands got even smaller.
Oh no.
You have like
Oh.
your hands are like 1 centimeter tall. Like your wrist is disgusting to look at because it's a normal size wrist, and then it just instantly turns into this little fucking stub of a hand.
How's Bray feeling about eating this mushroom?
Ray, they taste amazing.
He's like, don't let this put you off. Wait for your son.
They taste really good, Bray.
These were already small. They do taste amazing.
To be honest, Bray's just too busy like pissing himself. He just like can't believe what he's saying. He just thinks seeing Fenric with like these tiny little like things are like the funniest thing he's ever seen. You know what? I'm gonna pass on the mushrooms.
Oh, you're no fun. Can I roll persuasion?
What are you gonna eat? Is the question.
Out of game, can I roll to persuade you?
I might go. What can I ask? Like Fountain Lady or whatever. Like if they got any food that's not mushrooms that will make my hands.
I could say for the canon to make this easier for you, maybe Boldar's left his pack over by the camp and he's got his veggies in there. If you wanted to dive in and get those, or you can ask the fairy lady if you'd prefer.
I'll ask the fairy lady.
You approach her flower. That is very close to where Boldar was. She doesn't answer. She seemed to only make herself available upon being there for Boldar in this moment. But she's not going to concern herself with disrupting her sleep so that you can eat. She does not approach you.
Okay.
He throws a rock
In
into
that
the
case-
fountain.
In that case, I will take some of Boldar's vegetables.
As he said, his bag was open and sort of
Yeah.
nearby. You look in, and they are there.
I'll sort of give Boldar a look and just sort of a look as if to say, sort of, am I okay to like, you know, take some of these and
Yeah,
make some foods.
Boldar does kind of give you a look back that kind of says, yeah, you can, like, help yourself. We have, just if you want to know what is there, is carrots, Brussels sprouts, and peas.
Lovely.
Lovely. Better than nothing. There is also a
Yeah.
mangled goblin here if you want that.
I think I'll pass, to be honest.
Or a giant uncared claw. You might get some good meat off that, actually, to be fair.
I will also pass. But I will take some of the peas and carrots and whatever the other one was.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts, that's the one.
Look at all that.
And make some stuff. Some vegetable stuff.
So you're taking the veggies from his bag. Did you say you were
Yeah.
grabbing anything else? I was distracted by Freya in the chat.
No, just those. I'm going to ignore the claw and the goblin here.
We can't eat the duck, Freya, because it disappeared. After we killed it, it disappeared. It poofed.
She's saying you have another duck.
Yeah, but if we kill that, it's going to poof as well. I would
Maybe
imagine.
alive, maybe.
It only poofed when the next one appeared on top of your head.
Yeah, but the next
so
one appeared immediately. So by the time,
Like, you can eat some raw duck if you want. but
yeah,
it's
you
quick.
wouldn't, you wouldn't cook
I
that
don't
quick
think
enough.
you want to be eating raw duck.
Yeah, you couldn't cook that quick enough. It'd be gone again.
Yeah.
You grab the vegetables though, and they're still good, but I mean they're a little over a day old, and they have been. I guess it was on Boldar, so they've not been in the ocean. In the same bag as some rotting meat though, so they maybe have some a funky smell to them. They looking fine. They're maybe a bit softer than you would like, just because they've not been refrigerated. They're in just an orc bag.
But they're magic.
But no, you got the veggies. You'll cook them up. I'll have you roll a survival check as well.
Because they were magic veggies. They were from that
Worry.
trial thing. They were like the only ones that weren't cursed or whatever.
Oh, thank God. That's a 17 on survival.
Okay, are you cooking them?
I said thank God because I don't have a modifier. So I was worried.
Are you cooking them on the fire pit?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't want raw
Technically, you can eat like carrots. You can eat carrots, right?
veggies. This
Like
is
Bugs
true.
Bunny.
Are you using the same pot?
Just the mushroom?
He's like, I thoroughly washed the pot.
Absolutely not.
Do you have a different pot?
He holds them over the fire.
I do not.
Wash it. Wash it. Dunk it in the Great Fairy Fountain.
I
Yeah.
mean, he kind of already
I
rolled.
washed the pot thoroughly.
I'm just saying, like, you guys, these curses are really cute and funny. Like, I'm trying to force it for sure, and like, that's not as cool. But like, come on.
I mean, I'm
You want
still
tiny
hungry. I'll eat
hands.
more mushrooms.
Bray's small enough as it is.
Yeah, he's already got tiny hands.
All right. If you want to dump poor Fenric's mushrooms to the side and sort of rinse it out, and maybe rinse it in the fairy fountain,
Yeah. For good measure.
and cook some veggies, I'll allow that.
And that's like
without
a
an
little.
issue.
That's a little bit of a fuck you to the fairy for not helping him out with his food, I
Yeah.
do.
Wait,
Um,
wait, can I eat one more piece of mushroom just to see what'll happen?
sure. Fenric's like, fuck it, this is interesting.
He wants them to be
so
good.
good.
He really wants them to be good. Yeah. He's
I
like,
cook these so fucking well. Eat these. I'm gonna D8.
Go ahead and roll a d8.
Roll. I got a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
You eat this mushroom, and your chest feels weird.
Oh no.
Oh God.
And now
His
you don't
chest
take
caves
any
in.
harm.
I feel
But
like I'm in a
before
Sigourney
you
Weaver
speak,
movie.
every time you speak, you have to roll a d6 first.
"Ooh." Sounds like fear talking to women.
Okay. Wait, I'm gonna try to talk. I rolled a 3.
Okay. With a 3, everything you now say in that sentence, you are shouting and cannot control your volume.
What are you saying? Like, guys, I feel weird.
I'm gonna roleplay this, but I'm gonna shut my door so I don't piss off my wife.
That's probably
We
fair.
need to turn the volume down.
Bailey,
I'm not mad, honestly, because he's like, no matter what I do, still so quiet.
that's what I'm doing.
So maybe I'll just have him roll odd every time.
I love the commitment as well.
Like the dance last time.
I love the
I love
commitment.
it.
Just like I'm
I
gonna
love
roleplay
it.
this, but first let me shut the door.
Otherwise,
Sorry in advance if this like breaks the microphone. in
Otherwise
you
his-
guys' ears or something.
I'm
Oh, I
here for
appreciate
it.
you
otherwise his wife will join in with the shouting roleplay back at him.
A pixie comes behind you yelling.
Guys, my hands, they didn't get smaller this time. I think we're good. You should try them.
Why are you shouting?
Wake up.
Yeah, Fear wakes up. Boldar looks over his shoulder from where he's sitting and like has like a light smile in that direction.
Fear, if you want to wake up, you can do so.
Yeah, I'd like to
With
think if he's shouting pretty much near me, I'd wake up and be like, what?
Look at Fear. Hey, you want some mushrooms?
Just to give you the roll, every time you speak, you roll a d6. If it's even, you have to whisper. If it's odd, you have to shout.
Good to know.
So no roll gives him a normal speaking voice.
How long do these effects last?
I don't know. You guys
Oh
don't know.
boy.
Oh, God.
boy.
Tiny hands
I
forever.
mean, I know. You guys don't know.
Tiny hands forever. We're gonna call you Tiny Hands from now
I
Tiny
would just-
hands make yelly face over here.
on.
I'd like just to think I'd look at Fenric and be like, I'm right here, dude, and why are your hands not there anymore? Why are they like tiny?
He's like, they are here. Look, shoves a tiny hand in your face.
I'll just sort of back away a bit, just be like, I don't know. This is contagious.
He's like, I fell asleep and this happened. What the hell?
I leave you for like what, 10 minutes to have a nap?
And then halfway
You
through,
have a good dream.
What?
halfway through that thought, Fear goes, "Oh, those vegetables good."
I'm really tempted to put you to sleep, Fenric, if you keep shouting at me. All right.
Put him out of his misery, dude. Just
Pass all
give
that
us all a
fun.
favour. Put him
Why
to
is everyone staring?
Tristan, if you could take a inspiration point, please.
sleep.
Please.
Committed, okay.
I would like everyone to roll. I almost said perspective. No. Perception, please. Sorry. Maybe the multiple quate claws have kicked in.
Ooh, that's 20.
Nice.
It's a 16.
13.
16 for Boldar.
Look, I'm just saying, I've just woken up and I'm being shouted at, so my perception is dreadful at a 7.
I think you'd be groggy, to be fair.
Being woken up, Fenric shouting.
You're like
at
groggy
me,
and afraid at the moment. I think.
I don't know what's going on.
Groggy and afraid, the fear of flying story.
What did Fenric get?
Fenric rolled a 13.
13. Okay. Before I address that, I will say that Bray had washed the pot in the fairy fountain. So we'll just, behind the curtain, have the fairy roll a d8 as well. Just for shits and giggles.
So is that lavender pixie still near me?
We
Or
need
is
to have,
that just been scared away?
Rob, so we need to have words.
I would say you see them zipping about. None of them are really interacting with you guys in that pavilion for now, but you don't really not see them. They're just zipping about. They seem to not really pay much attention to you after they'd set everything up.
I want one to follow me everywhere.
Huh?
I want to persuade one of them to follow me and become my companion.
The cult
Okay,
of fear of flying.
I have two things I want to address before that, so don't forget that, and then we'll make that happen. We'll probably end on there, or unless there's something else that someone
Your
wants to do.
pixies.
You guys don't know how, but you just like feel like the Great Fairy's hands are a little bit smaller. She also rolled a 1. And then with your guys' perception, I would say, Fear, you're unbothered, you're hanging, maybe you're still playing music, or maybe at this point you are trying to scope out a close pixie to sort of call over to you. You are not noticing anything here out of the ordinary, besides the general area not being familiar to you. Fenric and Boldar, you hear Jeremy moving but aren't super keen on it, even Fenric, despite him being your BFF forever. I mean, he's a horse, he's going to move about. Bray, you see Jeremy walk off to the sort of the side of this area. He's not leaving, but is sort of nuzzling the ground in that area. Would you act on that or leave him be?
I would go over to him and see what's.
Would you tell
Okay.
Fenric
You
as
see
well?
he's sniffing at the mushrooms that you've tossed
Oh
over
no.
there.
Yes.
Tiny hoops.
It's like a little too fixed.
They won't hold him up.
I'll try and lead him away from the mushrooms.
With a carrot. Get
Roll
a carrot.
animal handling.
Get a carrot.
Yeah, with a carrot.
There you go. He surely gets advantage for the carrot.
Yeah, I think so.
Do I have to roll for that or
Yeah, animal handling should be a
Animal
skill
handling.
with advantage.
animal handling? Jesus.
It's right up the
No
top.
butterflies love it. Okay, well 16 was the better one, so
Okay, I'd say you get him away just fine.
Feed him the carrot.
Okie dokie. And then
I lure him back to like Fenric. And sort of
okay.
keep an eye. Jeremy, I love you.
Oh my god. And then Fear, did you want to try to approach another pixie or sort of call one over? What was the game plan for that?
Call one over. Call one that's willing to come over.
I'll say so your music has called one over before if you want to roll performance to sort of get them that way, or if you want to have like a persuasion contest to see if you can just actually just call one over.
I'll do
let you pick.
performance.
Okay. I'm trying to let you use your skills because I know you're
Yeah.
very proficient in performance.
14 plus 8, so 22.
You play terribly. No.
That's fair. Understandable.
I would say despite the interaction earlier, that lavender fairy does poke her head back. She gives you that familiar look and approaches you slowly, sort of with a giggle.
I'd like to persuade her to join me on my adventures. To see the world.
How are you going to do that?
You're asking her to follow you forever?
I feel like
A
that's tall
mutual
order.
companionship. To
She's like,
help
"What's in
each
it for
other out.
me?"
What do you want? What does your heart most desire?
She's like, I kind of want to stay here, honestly.
Okay, we'll do a persuasion contest. That'll be a flat D20 because it doesn't look like she's proficient in that per this thing we have here.
Well, let's hope she hasn't got any modifiers because I got a dirty 20.
13.
So she's not gonna commit to a forever kind of thing because she's not that kind of girl. Like she's not just gonna grab her U-Haul and change her life for you. But she you ask her what her heart desires and she doesn't answer. She just kind of giggles, and maybe curls up near one of your feet and just sits there and looks up at you. And she seems to have taken her place there.
I carry on playing a lovely tune for her.
He started building an army.
That's a lot of persuasion rolls. Freya says Rob cheating on the Kraken. You hear a distant ocean cry.
Hey, he hasn't slept with the pixie yet.
Yet.
I'm teaching the Kraken.
Yet.
The pixie's just a companion. Close friend. Alright? If the Kraken's
Okay.
not jealous, we should have a conversation.
Does the pixie know that? Does the pixie know they're just a close friend? Or do they think there's something more?
Look, as long as I don't take the pixie near water, we should be good. Unless the Kraken's a land Kraken.
Wow.
We haven't discussed this yet.
11 Kraken. The thought of that
Rob,
is
do
just
you
horrifying.
speak Kraken?
What's the language the Krakens use? Because I highly doubt it. I'm in common.
I'm sure it lists on here that they understand at least something. Bray will probably find it.
I'm sure
before
they
me,
probably
but-
understand common but don't speak it themselves.
Kraken. Languages. Abyssal, celestial, infernal, and primordial. It cannot speak, but it has telepathy of
You know
120
infernal.
feet.
I know Infernal, so we can communicate.
Oh my god, you can fucking talk to a Kraken. You're a bird.
I picked like the strangest languages to know for this whole reason.
Don't take the pixie on a beach date. Yeah, at least you can explain to the Kraken that you guys are only friends.
Yeah.
I will say I'm gonna look to close the game off here. We went a little bit over maybe the time that Matt had initially allotted. So we'll close it up here. But real quick, I must ask, you do not have to answer. Did you put out?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, he said
Roll
yes.
performance.
He said yes.
No performance. This
Crit-
is probably
crit-
my best performance yet.
Crit fail.
19 plus 8, so 27.
27. God.
I just have to know if the Kraken still likes you.
I think it'd be
the
hard.
Kraken was very satisfied.
I think it'd be hard not to like him after that. This is pretty
Well, I
infatuated.
can only get 1 point better. So it's only downhill from here. I've set the bar too high, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
Kraken's
I
telling all
am
our
not going to
Kraken
describe
friends.
a fucking thing. I refuse to do my job in this moment. I'm just going to make a note that the Kraken does still maybe have feelings for you. So do with that what you want upon this new pixie endeavor. But
I'm leaving it to the party's imagination.
But the Kraken's spreading good rumors about
Dangerous
you.
game, that mate.
good
Sweet
fucking
dreams,
lord.
lads.
Is there anything that your characters would we'll go around anything that you guys would do before going to sleep, and then we'll go around again, sort of see maybe how you guys cozy up for the night. So I'll start with Boldar. Is he gonna just sort of stay there for the remainder of the night?
I think he will walk back over to the camp, put his hand on Fenric's shoulder for the little talk that they had earlier, and just tell him, like, I'll just take the first watch tonight. And then he goes back over to where he was before.
Sounds good, man.
I forgot already. Boulder's like, what?
Boldar whispers back because he doesn't understand. He's like, thanks for the
Oh, Boulder, he's so cute. Oh my god.
talk. He assumes one of the others is sleeping, so he's like, okay, we're whispering.
What about Bray? Is there anything he would do before calling it a night?
Nah, not really. I think still gonna have some of the veggies left over that I cooked, so I'm just gonna sort of take them over to Boulder. As he said, he was gonna take the first watch.
Be a
you
little
can have
tin to eat
a
out.
little snacky snack while he's
Very sweet.
keeping watch.
Very sweet. Anything Fear would do?
I'm still tempted to put Fenric to sleep, but
Why
I think
not?
I'm just... You've challenged me now, so I'm gonna do it.
I mean, you're about to go to sleep, so you'll have like another long rest, effectively, right?
Exactly.
Maybe. So
So I need a second level spell slot as well, just to
You
help.
kick another treant.
we tip
I'm
over
gonna
the.
sleep, bitches.
We
Do
destroy
what you
the
want.
Great Fairy Fountain.
So I need to roll 5d8. What's your hit points?
He's back at
Burn.
34.
Yeah, he's back
so
at full.
that's barely possible.
I thought my I don't know, my thing says 31.
as a max.
Oh,
It goes off total hit points, not what you.
oh then
Can't
it's
go.
not possible.
I mean, he's
No.
got.
It's 4d8?
5d8 because I'm using a second level spell
Oh.
slot.
I was gonna say his maximum is
Then
what he's
yeah.
got as well at the moment because we got healed by the
Yeah.
fountain. So
Because had the rest in. Well,
so
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the-
then it's
it's the
possible.
same.
Either way, it failed because it was a 19. So you see me,
Someday.
you literally just see me look at you, sort of point towards you, and just nothing happens. Just
his eyes flutter. He's like, he feels like you did something. He's like, what the hell? What's he trying to do?
I'm just gonna curl.
Sneeze.
Yeah.
I'm gonna curl up, protecting the pixie, so no one can get to it.
Very cute.
That's
She
adorable.
notices. And then Fenric. Anything you would do before calling it a night?
Yeah, you're gonna regret not making me go to sleep. I'm gonna saunter over to the mushrooms that were thrown on the ground and try another one.
They're
just
like
wanna
a-
get as
Eating
cursed
it?
as po-
They're
yeah,
like-
I'm just gonna get as cursed as possible right now.
They're like
Oh my
crack.
god, are you
they're like,
okay?
They're like crack cocaine to Fenric. He can't get enough.
They're so fucking good.
Oh my god. They do taste good. Alright, roll a d8.
I rolled a 6. Oh no! I saw that look. I saw that look. What's happening?
So somebody else has already rolled a 6.
Wait, who rolled the 6?
You hear a fluttering in the distance.
Oh, fear rolled a 6.
oh god.
So you're going sleepy nights.
No.
It's to put you to
A
sleep.
No?
duck appears.
Wait.
This one's a
So now there's
mallard. He's
two
got
left.
an
Oh.
emerald green head and a beautiful sort of brown feather pattern, and he shows up,
Oh.
and he has a little mustard yellow bow tie on his neck, and he takes his spot on your head.
Oh my god, I love it.
It's funny that we chose 8 different curses, and only 4 of them have been used despite Fenric eating everything he
Several
possibly
mushrooms.
can.
Yeah.
Well, if they're still there in the morning, I'll probably have another bite.
Oh my god, just
Swear to God, I'll do it.
pull him off the ground.
If you remember,
I
you
don't
gotta
know.
remember that.
I should have
I think
determined
I'll
how
keep
many
all
you
of the morning.
found.
Yeah, why don't you pick some now for the morning? Put them in your bag.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll save them for a rainy day.
Are you grabbing the ones that are already cooked, or are you trying to find more?
I mean, he'll keep the ones that are cooked, I'd imagine,
I'm gonna
and
keep the ones that
get
are
some more,
cooked.
and pick
Okay.
some more.
I didn't establish this now. I don't know how many total have been eaten, but you pick up 2. I'm gonna say there's 2 left.
Okay, yeah, two bites worth. Yeah. I'm good with that.
That's 2 curses you can have.
And then just overall, sort of, the forest does get very dark. It's sort of already a darker area, but you do know that night has fallen. Boldar is taking the first watch. Is there anything at all that your characters want to do before falling asleep here?
No, I'm asleep.
Okay.
Sleepy times.
I think I'm falling into a food coma from these cursed mushrooms. So.
With their tiny hands.
My baby hands. They're not even baby. They're tiny. They're
They're
just
smaller than
minuscule.
their fetus hands.
Just little tiny hands.
Yeah, maybe like even before you went to sleep, Fenric tried to eat more, but kept dropping them in his little tiny hands, and then just put them in his bag, maybe.
Yeah.
Everybody's asleep, including the fairy. Maybe you feel a little gentle rumbling of her snoring from deep, deep below, coming through her fountain. But at this point, nobody knows this, but to close the scene, everybody is sleeping peacefully. At this point, Boldar has nodded asleep. Nobody's on watch. And Fear stands up, eyes still closed, and walks into the forest.
Does
And
at
we're
least
done.
the pixie follow me?
No, she's asleep.
Freya, can we have a dex save from this fairy? She's not a modifier, so I don't know that it would necessarily be dex, but I feel like that's just a good one to rely on.
10.
10? No, she's gonna stay where she is. If there was a moment of her sort of getting caught within your feathers, it does not catch, and she is on the ground where she was.